for sweet steam, soft light, morning in the desert Hump day, we rise together. Halfway up, it feels like forever, but we move step in step all the way. Hump day, hands in the air now. Every laugh and answer prayer now. We shout it loud. We live our hump day. Drifting away. Last day, last day, last play, drifting away. Last play.
All right, what up, everybody? Happy hump day. It's your time. Time to waffle up, everyone. It's Wednesday. We'll be starting real soon.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. Big hump, big bite, name Mike, sun bright, sand in my kicks, but I walk so light. Got a crate full of better and my grill on high. Every Wednesday morning they line outside. They don't come for the coffee, they come for the ride. I'm the camel with the lettuce and the syrup on the side. It's hump day. Waffle up if you got the stuff. Waffle up. Mike and the dudes turn breakfast to a sport that's tough. We ain't got no pancakes here, just squares soaking up that love. It's hump day. Waffle up if you got the stuff. Hey. I play shows in the shade logo on the stage, Thermaltake lights up, whole crowd in the blaze, fans chant Mike K. Every time that I raise another goal, waffle to the sky like praise. Got crumbs in my beer, syrup drip on my chain. Got a lot of cool camels trying to get in my lane. I just laugh, flip better, let them taste the flame. If you roll with the herd, better know the name. Mike, it's hump day. Waffle up if you got the stuff. Waffle up. Mike and the dudes turn breakfast to a sport that's tough. We ain't got no pancakes here, just squares soaking up that love. It's hump day. Waffle up if you got the stuff. Left hump, right hump, throw your hands up. Hands up. If you're riding midweek and you never tap out, never. If your team waffle, let me hear you shout. Shout. Waffle up, that's what we about. It's hump day. Waffle up if you got the stuff. Waffle up. Mike and the dudes turn breakfast to a sport that's tough. We ain't got no pancakes here, just squares soaking up that love. It's hump day. Waffle up if you got the stuff. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
yo. Listen up.
Oh, yeah.
I got a story to tell about a camel named
What up, everybody? Happy hump day. Oh, another glorious Wednesday. How's everybody? Let's go. Get those waffles in, everybody. Let's go. How's everybody doing?
He's a tech-savvy camel.
Oh, yeah. What's up? How are you guys? Hell yeah. Get those waffles in, baby. Get those waffles in. Pig coming in with a 30 stream streak. Let's go.
Camel crunches his bread.
Much love, much love. Nice. Thank you, sir.
Camel crunch, he's the king of the desert. Camel crunch, making your taste buds dance.
Oh man, I love these songs. Oh man, rip to Sora, ending April 26th.
Let's take
20 days left. So we're like, yeah. Man, pour one out for Sora, man. I had to make sure I downloaded all my video. Whoa, God, everybody's like crowding me. Get a little caught in that tornado there, huh? Little tornado there. Ooh. Laser blast.
You like waffles too?
Oh, no way, me too. All right. Thank you, Laser.
Laser Blast 92.
Let's go.
20 dude, Therma 20 dude, Therma 20 dude, Therma 20
Oh, what's
dude,
up?
Therma
Sora went
20
downhill
dude.
anyways. Content. Yeah, I know, dude. They got some pretty rough stuff. I think the nail in the coffin was Disney pulling out. But, you know, it was fun. I mean, I did a couple of fun things with it. I thought it was pretty funny. I wanted to do more, but it just, I wanted more detail, I guess, longer videos. But it's crazy looking at like what the AI stuff, you know, video wise is going on. Crazy pricing out there. I mean, they're asking for like thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars. I've definitely seen higher end ones. Like as far as like getting some of that stuff in there. Wow. Pandora Gray coming in with a 30 stream streak. Let's go. That's right, baby. Thanks for grabbing those waffles, man. Well, Disney just pulled out because they announced they were shutting down just after having a meeting with Disney. That's true. Not even telling them. It's so true, dude. It's so true. Oh, man. What's going on with AI? What's going on with AI, everybody? Are we going to pop the bubble soon? Oh, man. There's so much talk going on, man. It's crazy. It's fun to watch. YouTube, give me my waffle. That's nice. Is YouTube? Yeah, okay. YouTube has the waffles. Gets all the waffles on the tubes of views. Every Wednesday. Oh man, let a shout out to the Wafflers and the Waffle Orchestra coming up with some sick waffle jams on a Wednesday. Let's go. Oh man. Yeah, hope everybody's doing good today. Welcome back to another wonderful Wednesday. Happy hump day from us here at Thermaltake. Good to see ya. We got some fun stuff in store today. We're going to be talking about and building in our TR200 micro chassis. I mean, I think a lot of people really were digging the 100, being the mini ITX little guy, the little guy. Let's go, Sizzle Man coming in. Appreciate the 10 months, baby.
10 months, Mike Therma 20 waffles.
Let's go, waffle, waffle. Waffle, waffle. But yeah, we got the TR200 today in the studio. We're going to be doing our AIO build, kicking it off here today. We did a nice little recap of the case, little unboxing, you would say, before we left for PAX. So we do have that video up there if you guys want to get, you know, just a nice little overview of the case specifically. But I think a lot of people do like getting the nitty gritty, all the little details, all the little corners and cracks and all that fun stuff. To see what the case is all about. And we're going to be starting and kicking off our AIO build here today with a TR200. I got a couple of them on the table. I think I'm going to kind of made my choice on which one I'm going to go with, but just show you guys some of the options, talk about what can all fit inside, and go over a couple very unique things that I would say this case offers that, one, we haven't done in a very long time, and two, some cool little quirky little ideas. And want to know your guys' feedback on stuff like this. You know, making a new box in 2026 is not easy. But then, you know, when you make said box, you have to have a good story on the inside, right? You can't just make a cover of a book. So we got to make sure everything works on the inside, and how you put it and where you put it kind of some unique things. So this case right here has got some very unique offerings to it. And it comes in a fun little size. I think you guys are really going to dig it. We're going to be diving in on that today. And I got a couple little product special guests here. We got one of the new AIOs that we just got in that we'll be using to slap in on our build as we go forward here today. And of course, waffles. Don't forget, get in on all the waffling. Look at all you wafflers down here waffling around. Don't forget to get on that exclamation mark waffle for your chance to win. We got the best prizes on a hump day, baby. Let's go. Brought to you by Thermaltake. Let's go, baby. I had the darndest time at selecting the right cases for a lab setup this past week. Oh, well, you know, it's fun to shop. Whoa. I think it's pretty fun to shop, you know what I mean? But yeah, I can definitely, it's like, if you're building something for yourself, it's fun. But then if you're building something for not yourself, you know, it can be a little tedious depending on what you're doing. I've definitely been there myself. You know what I mean? I mean, every PC I build, I want to build it like I would want to build it. But, you know, I gotta be a little, you know, I got to make sure I don't go too extreme on it. Because I have a little bit of a tech addiction, a little bit. It's really hard. Waffle up, compa. Let's go. Appreciate the 8 months. Waffle me up. That's right, baby. Get in there. Good luck to you. Good luck. What's up, everybody over on the tubes of you? How are you guys doing over there on the YouTubes, as well as all the fam and wafflers here on Twitch? Welcome. Welcome. Kind of come hang out with us. Grab a waffle. We're going to do some PC build, just hanging out. Appreciate you guys chilling with us on a Wednesday. You know, breaking up that week for you. You know, having a little bit of fun. Having a little bit of fun. All right, let's just jump into it, shall we? I decided to change my. I liked my more laid back little background here. Just sitting here playing some Crimson Desert on my 100-inch TV screen. I thought it was funny when I put in the AI and I was like, make it a 100-inch screen. So not only did they make the screen big AF, which is what I was looking for, I just thought it was funny that they had to put the 100-inch on there. And I think, what was it? I saw what was it, Costco or Sam's Club? They got a 150-inch TV now or something like that. I want to go see that. I want to go see what a 150-inch TV looks like. I have a big TV at home, trust. But like, dude.
Quickstar21. Happy Wednesday.
Got both open for the views. Let's go. Appreciate it, Slow. Appreciate it so much. Surprised it wasn't Crimson Desert. Yeah, well, you know, dude, I've been playing the crap out of this game. It has been so much fun. I mean, if I could play Crimson Desert right now on stream, I would be playing Crimson Desert right now on stream. I can't believe how much content they've put into this game. And I swear, if they do multiplayer and everything, we might have to do something on stream for that. We might have to do some stuff with some fun stuff. We'll see. Waiting, patiently waiting. Dessert? Did I say dessert? Dessert, desert, dessert. I have Crimson Dessert. You know, it actually doesn't sound too bad. You know what I mean? It's like a red velvet cake, but it's different. That would be what my Crimson Dessert, my Crimson Dessert would look like. Of course, then if I asked AI to make me a Crimson Dessert, they'd probably take Cliff on a horse somewhere and put some weird Danish or something, and then just say that that's the food or something like that. You know what I mean? You never know. I'm surprised the AI. Dude, I gotta admit, the AI's gotten so much better with wording. Like, you see all the I would see at least one of those Thermaltakes totally misspelled, and I'd be like, oh, you gotta like spell it right, or like I even had like a weird issue. Like, this is like going back like over a year, right? Like some of my first like little AI animation things that I've done, like there would always be like a situation where like the TT wasn't the right. It would just make it all messed up, and then the text was never like really clear. It was kind of like maybe like blurry, you know. But dude, they've really crisped it up when it comes to the text. And it's like every time I look, I think I checked. I think they spelled Thermaltake right. Thermaltake, Thermaltake, Thermaltake. Yeah, see, we're good. We're good. Thermaltake all over the place. We got our cool TR200 with the wood grain action here on the front. Gaming it up. Chilling on the couch. You know what I mean? Little Crimson Desert and chill. I think it's a pretty cool case for stuff like that. Thermal turkey. I know, right? wait for it. Dude, didn't I already play that song? Huh. I already played that song. I don't know, whatever. There's so many. Dude, we have a lot of songs now. I need to do more, though. I just gotta keep doing it. At CES, all the TT employees called it Thermaltake while I was there. A little inside company joke, you know what I mean? A little inside company joke there. I like your Minecraft glowstone on the entertainment stand. Oh, wait. Glowstone where? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I didn't even really look at a lot of the other things that were like right here. I was like, is that like an old like you know what I mean? Like here's your classic like old school cable box DVR right here, right? Like those don't even those are like hard to get now from cable companies, man. Don't give me more ideas. You know, and it was funny too, because when I did this and everything, of course, it put a controller in his hands, and I was like, how dare you put a controller in his hands? Please make it a mouse and keyboard. So at least I got that switched over. I am a mouse and keyboard Crimson Desert player. I haven't even touched controller with this. I was a big controller person with Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring made a lot of sense for that. I've been almost debating on it, but it's kind of like blasphemy to pick up a controller on a PC, but I'm warming up to it. But I do like the keyboard. I love all the keys. I love all the options that I have. It's like Star Citizen, where there is 4,000 different keys to change to press. I mean, you have to press like 5 different buttons just to take off on a ship. So like there's stuff like that I do like, those kind of things, and I think some other people do too, you know, not everybody, but you know, some, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, well, let's get into it, shall we? Dude, we got a lot to talk about, actually. We have been busy since back from Boston, adding in a good amount of SKUs here as far as new products showing up here in the US, up for sale already. Right here on our website, thermaltakeusa.com. You can always go to thermaltake.com and check out and kind of get a sneak peek of new stuff that's coming, because they usually throw it up on the global site first. And then, of course, we'll pump it up over here on the USA site, because we do have an online store. So it takes a little bit more time to, you know, get everything set up on the shopping cart and all that fun stuff. But hey, we got some new colors here on display. The new transformative teal for 2026 for Thermaltake, and we have the 3 SKUs that we showcased at CES now in stock. Not bad. Couple months from showing it back in January, having the product now here in the US in stock. We got, of course, the Tower 600, the View 600, and then of course the View 390 with that crazy little curved one-piece tempered glass panel, because you know we've all talked, not many people do curved tempered glass panels on cases, you know. It's just like, oh yeah, just scroll our product page. But of course today we're talking about the new TR200. We also have the TR300 up on the website if you'd like to check that out. So now we got 1, 2, and 3 as far as the TR products go. Of course, the TR100 being mini ITX, TR200, which we're building today, which is micro ATX. And then if you guys have that ATX motherboard and you'd like to put it in something big but yet small, the TR300 might be an option. Big difference too, because the 300 comes with a glass window, where the 200 and the 100 come with just the perforated panels. And I gotta be honest, I really do kind of dig the perforated panels personally. But I'm also gonna say that this wood grain's really been growing on me. I definitely would say I like this cool like walnut type of wood grain here on the black case. I think it fits really well. It fits good, you know, in the background if it's something for your media PC. Just, you don't want a gigantic fish tank of a case You know, as far as if it's going to be your primary gaming location, or, you know, just maybe something you want to have sitting down by the couch. You know what I mean? So I think you guys will like the size of this. I'm really digging this one. The 200 has some very unique features that I like that not the 100 or the 300 don't have. So I feel the 200 is a nice little sweet spot with it. I mean, it's micro ATX, so that really, you know, form factor I know is always a big choice for most people. I know a lot of us are ATX fans like myself, or even eATX for that matter, but maybe as a secondary PC, or, you know, you just want to do like a simple media PC. You want a little flavor, you know what I mean? You want to get a little like a cedar look there, you know, a little old wood kind of style and stuff like that. Matches with the furniture, you know what I mean? Maybe we have a case in a color that works for you, you know what I'm saying? I constantly find myself looking for taller cases versus longer, wider cases. Who has that kind of floor space? Now, you know, it's funny, John, that you mentioned that, because I think one of the biggest feedbacks we got at CES was that cross case, which was that dual micro ATX case. I mean, I guess it's not necessarily short, but it sure is tall. Let me tell you, but it's a two-system case, right? I'm really excited to see what the next step is going to be for that new View Cross. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a cool idea showing more or less the final version, or, you know, because it was concept at CES, so we should have final version at Computex. So I'm really excited to see that. Coming up soon, end of May. Already booked the tickets. ThermalMike's already got his plane ticket. We'll be flying other side of the planet.
Jeff 5237.
Thank you so much for the hydrate, Wolf. Appreciate you. Brain coming in, Thermal Turkey. Thank you for the Thermal Turkey. And of course, Jeff coming in with the 21 months. Blackjack. Blackjack. Pay him. Pay up, man. Pay up. That's the case I'm most excited. Dude, me too. Me too. That was like the case of the show for me at CES, was that cross. I'm super excited about it. And then just think about if we get to do a build in that here on the stream, and we're doing 2 PC builds. I'm really going to have to wrap my head around what I'm going to do with it and how I'm going to showcase it with you guys. I think it'll be a lot of fun. We might actually build like a stream PC and game on it, and just do the whole setup, right? Like OBS, like the whole setup and everything. It's just, I don't know how I would, I don't know if I want to run 2 streams. I could co-stream with myself. I don't know what I'm gonna do. We got time. I got time to think about that. I got a trip to Taiwan to kind of, you know, melt the butter and think of a good idea with that one. You know what I mean? But I'm excited. I'm really excited for that case. I can build my custom router and my injection machine in the same box. Sign me up. See, I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of fun ideas with a lot of room with that. You know what I mean? I think it just a lot of different things. I could see people doing the 2-into-1 kind of PC case. I'm really curious too at Computex if there's going to be other people that you know, saw that we did like a 2 PC case, and they're going to be like, hey, we're here at Computex. We got a 2 PC case. It'll be fun to see. It'll be fun to see. I've done several gaming and streaming dual PC builds for the past. Yeah, nice. And, you know, I think it's fun. I mean, you know, capture card aside, it's usually not too bad. I think it's definitely more software side. I would say the biggest thing for me over the years streaming is probably USB. I think USB, having a strong USB internal hub on the motherboard is probably the most important thing I've found out streaming all these years, because I'll have issues with just certain things, USB here, USB there. You know, it's just, there's a good amount of stuff plugged in, but I don't have a crazy amount per se as like a lot of people. I'm not running USB cameras, for example. I run that all through a capture card, so. But yeah, dude, a lot of fun ideas with that. And, you know, I mean, like, nice little simple media PC like this TR200. I think it's a sweet spot for the size and the fitment options you can get. I mean, I'm going to go a little old school on this and say, you know, it's really cool that it has an optical drive option. I don't think that's going to be a big thing for everybody, but I definitely think there's gonna be some people out there going, oh, I can put an optical drive in that bad boy. And then, you know, there's some pros and cons with going one way versus the other. There's different mounting options for the power supply. So there's a lot of stuff actually involved in this case, way more than like I guess I initially interpreted, like way more. So let me get back to the, oh yeah, I forgot this keyboard doesn't have a home key. All right, so TR200 wood series and non-wood series options are up for sale on our website now. They should be getting out in the channel pretty soon. If not, we basically have two different colors giving you two different features, one with wood and one without. I mean, you got the WS for the wood series, and then you just have that standard perforated panel here for the front end. I really like how the AIO's right there on the front. Of course, you have the option for that 6-inch LCD screen, but I feel a lot of people, specifically with this one, over like the 100 or the 300, I think a lot of people are going to be looking for possible optical drive awesomeness. Got wood? Exactly. And then of course we have this both available in white with like a birch wood versus like that cherry walnut, whatever. I mean, it's not, I don't think we actually specifically call out the species of case wood. But I think you guys get the idea on the color. I got it right over here on the table too, so you guys can see a nice little close up. It's real wood because I saw the unfortunate happen back at CES when one of these things got totally destroyed in the shipping. So I can confirm splinters are real, and this is actually real wood, 100% confirmed. It was actually kind of funny, but sad at the same time. You know, and you're like, oh, dude, what are we gonna do? We need another one, and it's like, oh, but look, the wood's real. I thought that was pretty funny. New Core P series, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that new Infinity Core PX, yeah, the P10, PX, whatever it is. Waiting on that one. That one was still an early concept. I would say that one with the cross will have more or less a final version at Computex. But wait and see. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Yeah, two different colors with or without wood. You choose if you need to get wood on your PC case or not. That is all up to you guys. But yeah, we got the two different colors. Not sure if we're gonna do other colors in this one like we did with the TR100, but we'll see. I know the market's a little rough right now for PC case building and all that, so it can definitely, I feel you guys on this. I mean, like, building a PC today is definitely rough. I think all of us are feeling it, customers and manufacturers. I mean, when stuff like Doritos is getting up to $7 a bag and Pepsi's losing billions of dollars because they're trying to see how much we're gonna pay for a square or a triangular nacho chip, I think it's starting to show some signs that we're getting there, guys. So appreciate you guys not buying the overpriced bag of chips, man. Hopefully we can get some cheap chips soon. Speaking of cheap chips, Google's making some moves too with the AI stuff and everything. It's just been crazy, dude. Are we gonna, I mean, are memory prices finally coming down? Are we gonna finally see a little bit of relief? Like, what's gonna happen, right? What's gonna happen? It's kind of an it could almost be like one of those sitcoms or shows that you would have like on Netflix and stuff, right? And you'd just be like, oh, well, I can't wait to see what happens next Sunday. You know, when they come back and show the next episode, you know what I mean? Next time on Dragon Ball Z. You get 5 minutes of footage, and then next time you get a commercial, and then they come back the next week and they play 3 minutes of the previous 3 minutes. Gotta love it, man. Okay, back to work. Sorry. Happy hump day. TR200 micro ATX or micro chassis, but micro ATX form factor motherboard. You can also fit mini ITX in here as well. And I would say for a case like this that just has a closed perforated panel, no one's really gonna know, no one's really gonna care. So I would definitely say for if you got mini or micro ATX, this case might work for you. I mean, it might be an option either way, and you know, maybe give you a little bit more room for cooling. Because the one thing I do like about this, it supports up to the 360 millimeter AIO. If you do put the optical drive in, though, you have to slim down the AIO. So we'll talk about that later. There's some pros and cons, gives and takes, depending on what you want to do. And I'll definitely try to break that down as we go through the build here in the case. Of course, the dimensions are up there. I mean, it's not really necessarily considered, you know, a small form factor case. It's definitely bigger than that. Where like the TR100 is a small form factor case. So a little bit more wiggle room. Now, what does that wiggle room give us? Well, first and foremost, it gives us a little bit more cooling up to the 360 AIO. We also have a good amount of extra room for the graphics card. I mean, as you can see in here, I mean, even this one, there's heaps of room. I got a gigantic graphics card here to show you the maximum potential of the case. And of course, one of the nice unique things about this case that it has multi-mountable options for the power supply that mounts into the front of the case. And it literally has 4 different ways that it can mount. So we'll be talking about that. We'll have to break that one down. That one's a tough one to understand, but you know, either way, options, right? Your mod, your way. Your power supply, your way, right? One of the things I do like about this case, it supports up to 7 fans. So this is giving you kind of a bottom top cooling type of setup. You got 3 fans on the bottom, 3 fans on the top, 1 in the back. Very unique case to have 0 fans in the front, but that is because more or less the power supply is in the front, keeping the case definitely a little thinner, not making it as thick by doing like a dual chamber type of design with it. But I think you guys will be pretty happy with the cooling aspects of this, you know, just giving you that top to bottom cooling there with that too. So I think that's gonna be pretty good. We'll be talking about that as we go through the build. You know, standard IO ports, you got the USB 3, the Type-C, of course, which is huge. And you know, even some room for some storage options too. So of course, you know, you have the option for the screen. We're definitely pushing the accessories for that. So stuff like getting the screen in there. I mean, it's literally, here's the case and the features. And then, you know, I mean, I guess this isn't necessarily about the screen, but all I can stare at is the screen on this one. But yeah, being a micro ATX chassis with the 5 1/4 optical bay is definitely one I have not said like almost ever here on the channel, to be fair. I don't think I've ever talked about optical drives ever. I think a lot of that stuff was before. Someone make a 1600 watt Pico PSU. Oh my God, dude. I mean, we've done SFX up to 1200 watts. So it's close. But I don't know if you're gonna get 16 in that size, man. That's asking a good bit. It might be a extra tall. I don't know. You know, it might be something like it's gonna have to be like a 3U minimum. I don't know. We'd have to see. That's crazy power. But yeah, dude, I really like the front panel on this. Nice filtration with it, good amount of space with the feet. I mean, it fits really cool in a lot of like space, especially like living room environments. I feel it's like it gives a little bit more than just a PC that's going to go on your desk like everything else, specifically like the fish tanks and everything. So if you want something a little bit, you know, nonchalant or something you want to kind of stash away where I would say it's like you can't see, you know, it blends in. Might be like a cool idea. Driz coming in with a 17 months. Thank you, sir. Appreciate ya. Appreciate all the waffling. Make sure you guys get in on that extra waffle with those subscriptions, baby. Let's go. Oh, and then, you know, the nice thing too is the case does come with the little cutout to change the front panel there. So all you gotta do is just buy the screen. So I'll have that color matching panel cut out and everything for the screen. But like literally it's just like screen, more screen, software. Oh, dust filters, there we go. But no, I'm just talking ass. But yeah, I was like, wow, they're really pushing those screens on there. I think the case has some really cool features. I love how the entire bottom of this case just pops out. I love how just the entire bottom of this case pops out. It really opens up a lot. I mean, you can break this case down a good bit. Philinux coming in with the 28.
Dubba dub dub.
Dubba dub dub. Thanks, man. Waffle waffle. Light it up. Enhanced dust protection, good amount of dust filters. I really do like how that the entire base with the feet and everything just comes off. It's like one screw. It's really chill. Storage support too, I think, is big, because I think a lot of people that are going to be looking at this case, especially for like media applications, are going to want that HDD option because they got their Plex server or whatever they might have going on that they want to throw a ton of whatever they want on there and be able to utilize this for multiple things, hooking up your PC to your TV versus monitors or both. I mean, KVM switches exist for a reason, you know what I mean? But storage definitely helps feed that media style option and everything I think people need. So having the option for 2 SSDs or an HDD on the back definitely gives a cool option. The optical drive is just sizzling over here for us to be making a case with an optical drive mount in 2026. And then there's even additional storage in here, but you may or may not want that third fan. May or may not want that third fan. SPP stuff, yep. Dust for your protection. I mean, you can't really, and I like how dust filters have improved so much. Dust filters have improved so freaking much, man. The IO ports are quite handy. I do like it in the front versus on the top. I would think that makes more sense for this kind of case, like with its style. Now, here's where it gets a little weird. So, power. So your power supply can mount 4 different ways. It's technically like 6, but you basically have options to mount your power supply higher or lower, like the Price is Right. Higher or lower. And then you also have the ability to turn the power supply sideways and go higher or lower. So, and then you have do you want the fan which way and all that stuff. So we're talking about all that. But there is a variety of options for this. I mean, they show A and B on the website as far as how the box will fit in there. But then there's also C and D in the manual. So they kind of sneak that in with some other ideas. But, give it a nice little breakdown as far as, your hardware clearance, scenarios, Marios. So like if you want to have the 5 1/4 drive bay not plugged in, you can do the 360. But if you do throw that optical drive bay in, you can't combo it with a 360. Sad. I thought it's like make it a little bit taller, but I get it. I don't think it's going to be something everybody's going to want to do. And I don't know, like you guys will have to let me know. Is that a really big takeaway or is that not too bad? You know what I mean? As far as just overall radiator space with that. It's kind of funny because I always like to be like, oh yeah, you can't do that? Well, let me see if I can, because I'm like,
hey Mike, as a testament to how positive Chippy is, he does not hold your limb-ripping deeds against you. He chooses instead to appreciate the better parking spots near the front door of the mall. Still though, monster.
He's got to put the handicap thing up on the car. He just thinks of me every time he parks. Good. Don't you mess with me again. Handy chipped. Oh my God. He's handy chipped. He's handy chip capable. You don't have a handy chip capable ramp. I'm going to call the city on you. Oh my God. But yeah, like I'm sitting here going like, dude, why can't I put a 360 AIO on the bottom? If I move the power supply, if I put the power supply in A position with said drive bay, I'd have to, I guess it's just, where do you run the tubes around the graphics card? Funny stuff, but just something to think about. I'm just like, it makes me wonder, I guess, right? As a tinkerer, I'm like, oh yeah, let's see what we can do. I mean, if I got to put the fans on the other side of the case on the bottom just to make that AIO work, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? But no, we'll be talking about it and showing all the details. There's also a full manual here on the website. It's not at the top of the page. Usually you'll see design, specification, and then manual over there. But I think they're still adding it and it's going up. But just to FYI, if you want to look more details right now, if you come down to the hardware clearance section, there's a full manual right there. And then that will give you more or less the breakdown. You know, as far as all the other details, all the details about the case fitment, kind of how stuff goes. Because, like, you know, with the AIO in, you're going to have to do the tubes towards the back versus the front because of power supply location. And then that may be something where you're looking to loop around your AIO soft tubes there with your mount. So we may have to be doing some twisty turny mounting options to get everything to work out, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, VGA linked up to 365 days of the power. But yeah, you got like stuff like that. But as you can see, like the loopity loop, how it's gonna go. Then, you know, it gets even more complicated. I guess we give you even more options. So then you have, wait, where is it? So here is A and B as far as how the power supply, it's a power supply unit install. And then I'm trying to think what day is it? Woohoo! I think, okay, is it down here more? Where'd it go? Did they take it out? Like, it was literally there yesterday. Is it, wait. I'll have to look in the manual. For it. Let me find out where that is. I wish I would have downloaded this. That looks like they removed C. Oh no. So here's C. Because I think if you can, let me make it a little bigger. So like A and B keeps the power supply this way, but then you can actually turn it. I don't know why you would want to, but I guess you have that as an option. So that's what I was saying. It's a little interesting how the power supply of anything slaps in here. Okay, storage and everything, fan options, makes sense. It's pretty straightforward for like everything else. And I just love the nice little, you know, magnetic connected panels and everything, and making it very seamless. Of course, you have fan compatibility. Again, like I was saying, you can do 3 120s. It's a 120 case, to be fair, because you can do 120s on bottom, top, and back. I mean, if you do have an interest of doing 140s, you have that as an option, but it's only going to be on the top. So that's why I say it's a 120 case. They're giving options for 280 as well as 240. You know, as far as 2-fan fitments, but it doesn't support 420 or a triple 140 AIO. Just to be clear. And then we kind of break that down here with this, so you can kind of see the options there with that. You know what I mean? Chippy can only be put in special motherboards. They need to have a bus with them. Should we start making little helmets for our AIOs? So much to say right there, but don't want to say it. So much to say. I love you guys. And then some other new stuff too. We've of course, you know, had the MineCube up. We have the new TH-V3. So this is basically the upgraded version from the TH-V2 series. We now have the V3 series available. And this is going to come in 3 different options. Basically, if you want the high-end Ultra one that comes with a true proper screen, that's going to be the Ultra. The Dash S is going to be a static screen. And then we just have a plain and simple, just regular TH-V3S as well. I think it's, yeah, down here with the infinity mirror. And I mean, this is coming in at $100. So I think a lot of that is us focusing on trying to have a more affordable price point, as well as giving you guys a bunch of options in between, all the way up to crazy stuff like MagCurve and MineCube, right? So there's a lot of stuff. Holy crap, Bubba coming in with the 90 stream, dude. 90 streams in a row, dude. That is craziness. That's extra crispy. Thank you, Bubba. Appreciate the 90, bro. Wow. That is huge, dude. That's 90 hump days, man. Let's go. Damn. Thank you, Bubba. Appreciate it, man. That means more to me than any sub you could ever give. Man. Thank you so much. So we got also the new, these are the other new AIOs. These are the LB360s, coming in even a little bit cheaper. Gives a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I mean, you're not looking at full color screen kind of stuff, but you're also looking at $90 AIOs. So I think you guys can see where we're trying to help out in the market. I think it's great timing for this. This was planned like last year, right? It takes time for this stuff. It's not like this is stuff that we go, oh, the market's terrible, we need to have a cheap AIO. I mean, it takes a lot longer than that to plan these kind of things, but I think it's good timing with this coming in to, you know, have more of an affordable choice. But, you know, if you guys want to splurge and you want to cube it up, you know, we got those options too. But I don't think everybody's got $400 for an AIO either. You know what I mean? So couple options there. Definitely some new stuff that's up on the website. We have even more coming. So I'll try to recap more for you guys next week on that. But definitely take a look at thermaltakeusa.com for some of the new that we have coming out, like the new LB360s, the V3 series, even the Mag Curve. I mean, the Mag Curve kind of popped up too. It's been up there for a little bit, but you know, fairly new, I guess, as far as, you know, like something like that popping up there, you know what I mean? And then of course, new cases, we are building the TR200. The TR200 is now available. We got that Vision 330, which we also covered an unboxing for a couple of streams back. So we're catching up here. We're definitely catching up here. I mean, most of these cases are the same. It's just new color. We've built in all three of these. So, you know, we've already kind of done that kind of stuff. So I don't know. We'll see what we do, you know, going forward. You know, basically what I got schedule-wise between now and Taiwan. So I'll try to see what I can fit in, you know, for the schedule there. But we're just hanging out today, baby. We're just hanging out today. We're building. Any plans to make handles for the case? No, I don't think so. We talked about it. I definitely say we did definitely talk about handles and, you know, and stuff like giving those options. I think the majority of our little discussion was like, people can buy like a strap for it. I mean, they sell tons of this stuff on Amazon. But, you know, I'm not really sure if they wanted necessarily have like the little handle indent in there for the people that don't want the handle. But then at the same time, I guess we could just make a new replacement top panel and just to have it with a handle built in. But it's just, you know, as a global company, what we're going to make like 100 pieces. You know what I'm saying? Grasume coming in with a 42. Thank you so much. And appreciate the thirsty camel there. I was definitely thirsty. Thank you so much. And damn, Bubba coming in again with the 90. Let's go, my friend. Let's go. All right, let's jump on over. We gotta at least get some stuff. We gotta at least get some stuff started today. You know what I mean? But you know, hope everybody's doing good. Happy Hump Day. We're Thermaltake Live. I am ThermalMike, back from PAX East. Shout out to all of our new followers that jumped in for that PAX East PC giveaway. And again, congratulations to our big winner. Hang tight if you're watching. We're working on getting that thing all buttoned up to get that shipped out. I owe you an email on the update for what's going on there, but everything else should be good, all confirmed. So we should be good there. Now take a look at these bad boys right here. We got the TR200. This one being with the beautiful wood grain. It's a little dark and mysterious here in the lighting. I think I have all my lights on. I guess I have all my lights on. And it feels dark in here for some reason. Maybe it's just the case vibes per se, but it really blends in well. I think if you got like the cool little gamer den, or you know, this kind of matches with the furniture, you know what I mean, as far as what you got going on there, this might be a cool little option. I really dig this one out of the bunch. I mean, I do like the just standard perforated front panel, either in black or the snow color, but I would say out of all of them, this one really kind of sticks out a little bit more, just kind of like how this wood, you know, just sticks out a little bit too, you know what I mean? Well, like, dude, we could totally just take this top panel and, you know, they could sell another panel with like a handle built in. I don't know, like, if you, like, dude, will you lock this in? Would you want to pick it up like it's like one of those, you know, those briefcases that holds a lot of money? Gonna cost a lot of money. You shall not pass.
60% of the time, it works.
And see, that's where I feel worried about the handle, man. That handle's gonna be 60% of the time. I guess it's better than 40, right? I guess it's better than 40. But yeah, I mean, pretty cool case. Good little size as far as options go and everything with it. Just trying to show off a little bit of the color there between the two models. Of course, we have both the black with and without the wood feature here on the front. Look at that. It's nice and nice. It's nice. It's sanded real nice, you know, and everything. It doesn't have that cedar smell that you would want. You know, we should have put like some kind of like little wood scents in there. You know, like when you go to Disneyland, you know, and you do that one ride and everything where you fly, you know, doing the soaring and everything, and they hit you with that pine little smell. You know, maybe we should put something like that in their case. Oh boy, would that be funny? A little scratch and sniff. Oh, it smells like new electronics. Yeah, I guess just for better visuals and everything, we'll stick with the white cases. It definitely allows me to show off more of the interior of the case per se. You know, a little bit easier to see. Again, nice simple panels. These got just simple little magnets here on the top. Two little feety guys here for you to get your notch on and just notch that up in there. And I mean, it just slaps in. One of the nice things about the case too, I mean, I guess it doesn't necessarily matter too much, but the panels are symmetrical. So like, for example, the back panel, it's on the front, bro. I guess it's the side to side, wax on, wax off. It doesn't matter which one they are, symmetrical panels. As far as like, you know, depending on what you want to panel with your panels. But they're toolless, nice and easy to remove. And even with the magnets, they stay together real good because they just magnetize to themselves, and they nice little pack right here. And then of course, you know, nice little filter on the inside. I like the filters with the frames. I think filters with frames is pretty cool. It's got some decent filtration. You know, the perforations is perforating. I think it's pretty cool. And, you know, just simple little magnets on here. It just snaps into place. Like, it's that easy, guys. You know, take these things out. You can rinse them, wash them. Just, you know, like you do with the lint thing in the dryer. You know what I mean?
Look at what I dropped in the Discord, Mike.
Uh-oh. All right, I'll have to check it out. Let's see. Let's see. What did John drop in the Discord? I love it. I love it. Let's see. Oh, my gosh, dude. Check this out. All right. Squirrel. I got distracted. Check this out right here. Look at this old school fan right here, man. Wow. TT 1225. Let's go. Dude, the old school with the orange blades. Back when like branding was all about the company color and all those good old days. You gotta love this right here. You gotta love this single wire fan header. That really takes me back when you see just a single, it's like, is that a neutral? I'm just kidding. But like, dude, that's pretty cool. I think you had some other pictures up here on the other side of the fan, dude. Thanks so much for sharing. Old but gold. I love it. But this 3-pin single wire, dude, really takes me back for what I don't know why, but that takes me back. You had the little pass-through Molex with the thickness of power cable for the little fan that could, right? Like how thick this bad boy is right here for the little power that could, you know what I mean? But that's some cool stuff, man. That's some cool stuff. Thanks so much for sharing. Thanks so much for sharing that. I appreciate it. Dude, it's like, it reminds me of the well, I got a little gift from a friend a long time ago. He knows. Little hold those up, Chippy. But like, dude, like little, look at this old poker chip style fan. This really goes back. I've kind of I've been like collecting a lot of like old vintage Thermaltake stuff. I mean, I've been here at the company. We're going on almost 12 years with the company, right? And I've collected a good amount of stuff over the years, you know what I mean? But I want the collection to keep going. I'm still trying to get my hands on the little 5 1/4 ashtray cup holder thing. Dude, if I had one of those right now, I would totally be throwing that in here and having a good old time. I swear, man, if only. If only. Let's see. Well, put that up there without everything falling apart. That is always good. Moo, back to you. Moo, back to you. Hold on, let me switch up my audio real quick. Let's switch it. Let's switch it up. Let's see, what do I want to go? Let's switch it up. Free flow sessions. Okay. Choke of the day. That's a good one. These are some of the most interesting freaking, like, you know, let's do some chill mode today. Well, I'm feeling chill today. I don't know if I'm gonna get too crazy on some stuff, but just a little chilling music. Yeah. Change it up a little bit. Change it up a little bit. Oh. The fan went all over the world with me, dude. And that's so cool. I remember when you were telling me about it and how that fan came and you're like, hey, do you want it? I'm like, oh my God, yes. So cool, man. Thank you so much. It shall be there on the shelf of awesomeness. I mean, I got all my other stuff up there too. Oh, hold on. H2O. H2O. Now let me know if the music's too loud. I just turned it down. That fan meant a lot to me. It means a lot to me too, my friend. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you so much. Too bad I don't have a case I could slap it in. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. And no, I didn't clean it. I left it just the way that it was because I like that. I like that. I'm a grungy. I'm down with the usage of stuff and everything. But of course, we got something new here today on display. Not just our new TR200 case. As you can see, I was eyeballing some new power option stuff for that in there. But I also have our new LB360S ARGB sync. This is the snow edition. We have this in both black and white. Nice budget cooler. Like I was saying, this is literally $89, $100, $100. So I figured we'll slap this guy in there. I want to take a look at it. We just got this in, so let's do something a little different. I don't think the Mind Cube's going to necessarily fit well in this with the little clearance of the cooler options and everything, especially with, you know, the tubes and stuff per se. I think I could make it work, to be fair, but I figured since we got this guy in, why not slap in something new? Am I right? The patina was earned. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't hear any music. It does work though. Is the music not working? Is the music not musicking? Is it not musicking? It should be, or maybe it's too quiet. Maybe it's too quiet on your side. Cause like I like to crank the music here. So like I have the music just pumping in the background, you know, gets me going, gets me building. But I don't want to blast you guys out either. Plus I want you to be able to hear me too. I'm a one-man show here, so I need your guys' help. I don't have a moderator. Well, I have moderators, but they're not here to be able to help me go, hey, idiot, the music's too loud. Rip Steve. Steve was the best. Steve would always tell me everything I did wrong. It was good. It was good. He taught me a lot. He taught me a lot over the years. But yeah, we got the TR200 here on display. Let me slide my cool little power supply. Now, I also got something else new. This is our new Thermaltake power supply. I think one of the weird things that you can kind of tell here with this one is that the fan is actually a colored fan. It doesn't light up, but it has some color. It's very quiet. Oh, okay. So I was worried I was blasting you guys out right now. Where's my box, eh? All right. Don't forget to get those waffles in. We're just hanging out. But here's the box too. So this is another power supply, up and coming. So this is a new model that we have coming out. Of course, a lot of our newer models have the matcha packaging. If that gives you any sense of as far as like what's new, what's not. A lot of our new stuff is all going with this matcha packaging here. This is a tough power. This one is the GF3 850 watt. So 850 watts. We're going to be doing some other wattage options with this, but I think one of the more unique things about this particular power supply, I mean, it's a power supply, right? It's a power supply, but as you can see, it has basically a brown fan inside. So doing something a little different. Doesn't necessarily have any lights. It doesn't light up or anything, but pretty cool as far as our new ATX 3.1, 5.1 power. I mean, here for the 850 model, you can see your 24 pin connections, you know, PCIe, of course, the Gen 5, and then your other options right here. Nice and detailed there on that. Right, and if you look closely, you can see where the screw hole is. It's right there. I found it. But yeah, I mean, pretty straightforward. Cool little design there with that. We also have some other colors of fans in, but I figured since we're doing a white build and I had this as the new, we might as well slap it in with the new. You know what I'm saying? There's a level 10 GT on eBay right now. Wow. You know, what's funny is I looked back, gosh, I was trying to think, maybe it was like about a month ago or so, and I saw somebody selling one of the Thermaltake swag packs on eBay. I didn't know we were that cool. I didn't know we were that cool that people are selling the swag packs we used to give out for waffles on eBay. So grab one of those, man. It's going to be vintage. And I got some new swag stuff from packs too, and I got to figure out how I'm going to bundle that in, or what extra waffles I can throw, you know, sprinkle on top. You know, a couple of things to sprinkle on top for you guys that win. So we'll see what's going on. But yeah, we got that. We got a lot to talk about with power, of course. Fans, we got our new AIO, the LB360. And then, of course, I just got some gigantic chonker of a graphics card. Is it going to fit? I guess we'll have to find out. I guess we're just going to have to see if it fits in there, guys. I don't know. I didn't check anything. So stay tuned. You might be able to see epicness or epic failure on my part by not checking on things. But you know what? It's all for the content, right? You guys come for the waffles. I like to entertain you a little bit while you're waiting. I know you're hungry. But yeah, we'll take a look at our new AIO, as well as our new case, our new power. So like I said, we got a lot today. Let's see. We don't need instructions. Who reads those instructions? I write the instructions. No, I'm just kidding. I don't anymore. I used to do a good bit of instructions writing, and it was always funny because, like, I'm like, who's actually gonna read this? But I know some people do help and everything like that, and I've wanted to get some video stuff going on, but I do remember having a good time when we were in Boston at PAX, because we had to have a terms and conditions for all the racing, right? Liability and all that, blah, blah, blah. And I wrote the terms and conditions and liability for it. I kept joking with everybody, waiting patiently in line. Be like, hey, did you read those terms and conditions? I wrote them. And then I just had the funniest idea of putting a little line in there to be like, if you're actually reading this, tell me Waffle for an extra prize. I swear I had it in there and took it out. I was this close. I was like, you know what? Everybody sees it. I might get in trouble. We might run out of too many. We might have too many swag prizes there. I was like, but I was thinking about it, guys. I wanted to do it. You know what I mean? I wanted to do it, but you'd have to be there. So I think that's interesting. There's some different stuff in here. Oh, that's cool. I like playing with new things. So this is some new stuff. It looks like we got some different cable connections, as well as mounting and everything. So we'll have to break that down. Kind of covering a little bit on the AIO 2 with the new case. Hopefully everything's gonna fit in here okay. Let's do a little. I mean, brand new out of the box, guys. I mean, we're taking the plastic off. Brand new. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I actually, this is kind of neat with the little wood grain. I was gonna do the case with the wood grain on it to match this and everything, but I was like, oh, you're not gonna see it though because it doesn't have a window. So I was like, eh.
What day is it, Mike?
I was like, whatever, whatever.
Beppo just resubbed for 2 months.
Let's
Looks
go,
good.
TTC.
I like the form factor.
Looking good. I like the format. And I think this is a lot of people are looking at. They don't want some too big. If they do, we got that. Everybody's got too big right now. I think, and it's not like super small. We're not talking like mini or Pico size little mini things, right? You want a little bit to grab onto, you know what I'm saying? So I think the TR200, it's got a sweet little spot in our TR series from the 100 and then of course the 300 too, that came out. I want to see what continues on with the TR series, but when we first announced this, I thought this was a really cool looking case. I think it checks a lot of boxes for many. I mean, I, for one, don't want those AIOs on the top. That makes a lot more sense and gives a lot more clearance for the cooling and everything. I think the optical drive option is just hilarious and definitely functional for people that are looking for that, where it's very scarce in the market right now. But just overall standard build. I mean, you don't want something too crazy, but you want to be able to fit decent amount of stuff in there. Or you're not doing a new build, you just want to refresh your case, and you have like an older micro ATX case, right? Like micro ATX cases have made such big moves in the last couple of years. And if you're sitting on something that you've had for a little bit and you want to kind of, step into something a little new, you want to get a new couch, you know what I mean? Maybe the TR200, you need a little case refresh. Maybe, take the opportunity to slap some new thermal paste on the old build. That's been tried and true, trucking along those late game nights for you. No 200 mil fans though, good. No 200 mil fans. It's small. I guess it's micro case, not maximum case. I guess when we come out with a maximum case, we'll be doing. But I will be keeping my eyes out for 200 mil stuff for you for Computex, my friend. All right. So AIO, power, fans, GPU. Of course, we got the Mobo. Got a nice little Mobo here. Nothing crazy, but micro ATX. We slapping this guy in here. I think everything's gonna. Oh yeah, I had the other. Here's the actual so with the case and this front panel, right? I mean, it kind of covered this already with the last stream, but it's been a little bit. So let's go back. Let's get back into it. So out of the box, no offense, box, if you're here, out of the box, there is this plate that you will get, just kind of snaps into place here. So it's kind of like a little cover plate. So the case is going to come with like this. It's got a little cover plate. I probably don't have it lined up. So you kind of see a little bit of the cutout, on there on the case itself. So I can get this. Yep. So then ideally, more or less, you'll get something kind of like that. It kind of looks like you could put your phone right there. You know what I mean? But this will be what you'll get. And then, of course, if you want to throw in, and boy, did I have to dust this off. And funny enough, with this optical drive, I mean, I just couldn't help but laugh that the one that I found, that this bad boy, I don't know if you can even see it. This is IDE. You got the classic jumpers on here, making sure it's on slave, not master. You know what I mean? You got your good old Molex connection in there, but yeah, you got that big chunker IDE cable. Oh man, that was hilarious. I'm like, I'm not going to be plugging in and hooking up the system, but I just thought it was funny that the one that I found that we've had here in the office that we used to use, used to use this for testing years ago. I was pretty stoked we still have it. But then, yeah, this basically would be your optical drive mounting option there to be able to put the optical drive. So you'll get a replacement or an extra plate here in the accessory box, which kind of looks like it's for the 3.9 screen because it's just been screens and more screens. But in actuality, this is for an optical drive. Whoa. And yeah, I was laughing, man. I was like, holy crap, this is IDE. I forgot what these other power inputs are for, because I think I can't remember if it was like a bypass, like if you don't use Molex, then you can use the front panel fan header thing, you know, that would come straight off the power supply for like floppy disk power. But I honestly, I can't remember. But yeah, this one's a little bit, yeah, April 2007 this was made. RIP. Wonder if it still works. Wonder if it still plays. Get those sweet DVDs and everything, you know what I mean? But yeah, so a lot of stuff there. I mean, of course, accessory wise, there's, you know, all the cable or the screws. We got, you know, the nice little Velcro headbands for all your cable management. And then the classic, very rare but limited optical drive bracket accessory that you actually secure to the case if you want to go with that optical drive mount option to give it that stability inside, or, you know, on the inside there and everything. So we'll be talking about that. Try to cover all the bases, you know. Try to cover all the bases. The pickings are very slim indeed. Yeah, and I mean, I definitely could say that some people, especially on like the living room, or like, you know, the non so crazy PC, or maybe crazy PC, it really doesn't matter, right? It's just about the options as far as like, you know, what you get out of the box, right? I mean, you could easily go air cooling with this case just the same and not even have to worry about an AIO or the tubes or anything. Just slap a big AI air cooler on here. You know, you have that option too. I believe that the clearances are up on the website there. I believe the clearances. At Thermaltake Live, music's a bit loud, or turn you up. Well, yeah, here, I'll dip it a little bit. I'll dip it a little bit. Laugh Out Loud is optical making a comeback. You know, I have actually seen a good amount of people talking about optical drive stuff. I think it has a lot to do with how things like just, dude, like everything's going to a streaming service. There's no physical content. There's no ownage of said stuff that you pay for. How far are we going to go with that before we just go right back to a new form factor of Blu-ray DVDs? Like, I mean, I have a giant cabinet in my house of Blu-ray DVDs that I bought. Probably a lot of us do too. Still have the Blu-ray player, but definitely has collected a lot of dust. I haven't used it all that often. I mean, it just seems like just paying a monthly fee to just get random stuff and not really own anything. You know, it's kind of an interesting thing. We're going to have to see how that goes going forward. I could see a company come in and just change everything up on that. You know what I mean?
No rest for WKD.
No rest for the wicked, coming in with the 8 months as well. Thank you, Redneck Poet, coming in with the 27 months. Thank you guys so much. Cheers to you guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate the waffles. All I know is I can watch 4K Dune on my PC without taking space on a drive or paying for the stream. And, you know, like, for me, I'm a big audio guy. I have I'd say a fairly decent audio system, you know, 5.1. I got the surround sound. You know, I did like you cut the hole in the ceiling and I put the surround sound speakers in there. Still trips my Doberman out when we watch movies or stuff that has the sound. And I would say one of the biggest things with Blu-ray is audio. It's not necessarily video. I mean, video content, streaming content, 4K, you're going to get that, but you're not going to get the audio that you would get. And I know a lot of us audio profiles out there, profilers, it's the fidelity. But like stuff like that, dude, really makes, you know, kind of come back to like thinking about those kind of things. Like, oh man, like the audio is so much better there. Blu-ray doesn't have the compression artifacts, but most people don't notice. That's true. That's true. I think a lot of us have just gotten accustomed to thinking that's good until they see more, you know what I mean? But then it gets really pricey, you know, with that stuff. But yeah, interesting to see how that goes, you know? I want to hear that fork fall in the kitchen. I feel you on that. Like, but I want to hear that fork fall in the kitchen over there, because it fell over there, right? Or like it was dropped in the background or something like that. Still trips my dogs out, man. It's so funny. It's so funny. All right, so you got your new case. TR200. You definitely got a few options as far as what you're going to want to do, you know, kind of getting everything going. I mean, graphic card wise, more or less will be some of the last things that you're going to want to put in here. But at the same time, you're going to want to probably check your clearance before you get all of your cable management, and especially just connecting your cables with your power supply. I think the power supply mounting does have a factor here, specifically for clearance with the graphics card, but also with the cable management and like what you want to do and how you want to go about it. I mean, first and foremost, let's just take this bad boy all the way apart. You have the top panel, again, nice filter here, single screw on the back. It's just one of those slide and take off kind of top panels. Real simple and easy. I love that. Now, this opens up the top panel of the case where, you know, you would mount your AIO to, or fans, depending on what you want to do for cooling. But I like how we went a step further with this. And the panel itself, especially with a compact case, you know what I mean? The panel itself for your fan bracket or AIO is also removable. And I think for cases like this, that matters a lot. So let's go ahead and we'll take this bad boy out really quick. It's got these cool little short, very small, I'm gonna lose these screws. I mean, there's literally probably like 2 passes of screw thread there, like, and that's like about it. But you know, you don't need all that much. Okay, oh yeah, I missed one more. I forgot there's one on the side. But these like, I honestly think this is probably like the smallest screw we've ever made. I know that's kind of weird to say, but like, look at this. Look at this little guy. Look at the little guy right here. Like, come on, camera, stop shaking around. Stop shaking around. Look at this little, look at that. There's literally not much on there. It's the cutest thing though. This is probably the smallest screw we've ever included in anything. It's the details that matter. It's the little details that matter. You know what I mean? I paid for the sound system and I want to hear every little sound. Dude, I'm there with you. If you've not experienced stuff like that, like, you know, racing wise, like if you just throw on NASCAR, you could hear it going around, or just, you know, just other things. A lot of good action movies, man, give you a lot of good sound. You know what I'm saying? A lot of options for people out there. But yeah, dude, Blu-ray audio is like what it's all about. Now, okay, so a couple of the things here with the case. You know, this panel is removable. It's got a single screw on the one side, slides over, this comes off. Of course, you have the insert here on there if you want to remove that. This, of course, will apply if you want to use the 6-inch screen, and then you can mount the 6-inch screen. There's mounting hills right here, screw it in. So it's not like, you know, it doesn't clip in or anything. It secures in like it normally would. But you'll get this out of the box like this with the insert, you know, optional. You can pop this out if you would like to. Okay. I'm going to just take it off because you'll be able to see more things. You know what I mean? You'll be able to see more stuff. Now, front panel wise, I really dig this. And one of the reasons why I like the front panel on this one so much, I'm like, this one's a little different. It's got, normally you'd think you would just grab it and pull it from the bottom, right? There would be a little cutout right here as like a little handle to like pop this out, but that's not the case with this case. It's not the case with this case. It has little pinch clips on the inside on both sides of the case. It's a little clip right there on the inside of the case. What you got to do is you got to push those on the inside, and then it will free this one. I'll do the same thing over here, and this will pop this one out. And then this is what I love about this case. I can remove this front panel here, and it's got a nice little cutout because I don't want to have to take that IO panel out with all the cables and all that. I love how this is a separate piece. It's secured into the case, and just taking this out, like, you know how when you had to do this and it would be just hanging from the wires? You know what I mean? Like, this is a cool idea, and I like that we do this. We do this a good bit on a lot of the cases. And of course, you know, nice filtration there through out the front panel for some filtering. But again, remember, this is more or less going to be your power supply. There's no fan mounting on the front of this case. There's just no fan mounting on the front. You have to get past that to understand, well, why is there no front mounting of the fan? Because the power supply is there. So then, of course, with your power supply, I mean, yeah, you do have a fan, but your power supply is not going to be cooling your case. That's not really the case here with your power. I mean, ideally, I would recommend having the fan facing outwards so that way that air coming in goes out through the top, because, you know, you're going to have your power cable on the top as far as how it's mounted. So all your cables come down and then they do their little all throughout the case, right? But you do have multiple options to mount said power supply in there. So we'll be taking the bracket out and we'll be talking about all of that. So you guys know all your options. You know what I mean? It's a lot. It's crazy how many different things you can do with something like power. You know what I'm saying? Change that up. But I love to see you guys getting in on the waffle. Good luck. We'll be waffling in a little while. I forgot how much time, but probably in a little bit. It's almost 2:30 here. So yeah, front panel removed. Really kind of opens up. I mean, you literally have all of this opened up there with that. The only real bracket that's left in there is going to be for the power supply. And then of course you have your pass-through 12-volt cable. So your power supply will be plugging into this cable here, and then the case comes with the cable. It runs all through the back, and then you have your natural power connection going to your surge protector, because hey, we all have surge protectors on our PCs, right? Surge protector connection right here, so it's natural out the back, and it's not something where you're going to have to buy an extension or anything. And we even give you the 90-degree on here to help make stuff even a little bit easier, and just boop, pops right in. So that's pretty cool. We do have the bracket there for the front, but hey, let's first, as we were working on this, I took 2 screws in the back, 1 in the front, and then, or I'm sorry, 1 in the back, 2 in the front, and 1 on the side. Let's not get dirty here with this build. And then you can remove the complete bracket here, which is great, because then I can take this, I can mount my AIO to that, flip it up around just how you're doing your pancakes or your waffles. It's more or less waffles, not necessarily pancakes, but that was a joke for box. But then being able to take that, slap that back in there all in one piece, and not have to just kind of deal with working, especially on smaller chassis and everything, really opens up the case. But let me tell you what really opens up the case here on this one, because I love this stuff. Like, it's like, how broken down can you really get with a case? How much did the case come apart? It's wild, man. So there's a single screw here on the bottom. This is in the back, right below the PCI expansion, you know what I mean. But yeah, just single screw. Take this bad boy, loosen that. This panel shifts back, and then the whole thing comes out. The whole thing comes out. This is so neat. Now, this helps for a lot of reasons, because one, I can mount all the fans. If I'm running like a magnetic fan, like I'm going to be doing with like a SWA fan or CT fan, or like whatever magnet fan that you would have, you don't have to worry about your cables. I can mount my fans here. I even have the option to mount my hard drive if I want to do a hard drive option there with that. So you do have a nice little set of options. Now, of course, with the fan in the front, you have 2 direct holes right here to mount 1 fan, 2 fan, and 3 fan. But then you also have the ability to go 2 fans here and then be able to mount a full-size HDD, 3.5 versus like a 2.5 right there, you know, because you do have other options for storage in the back too. But I love how this comes out. Look at this. I mean, what else would need to come apart for you to have a better and easier build? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's really nothing else that I could do. I mean, maybe have the front panel come off, but again, like if there was fans there, maybe, but without that, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And really no tools. I mean, other than the internal bracket for my AIO, which I kind of want to have that screwed in. I don't necessarily want that clipped in or whatever, you know what I mean? Certain stuff I would like for it to be secured, like hard drives and AIO coolers. You know, those are the bigger things. My graphics card, right? But yeah. Let's go ahead. Now, the other thing too, just to mention, the case does come with a fan. You'll get a single 120 fan here on the back. But of course, the case does support up to 7 different fans, all right? UPS, download more power. Absolutely. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's right next to my blinker fluid. I have a bottle of blinker fluid. I put that right next to my downloaded power and RAM. I have my downloaded RAM on queue right now. It's waiting to download. Well, yeah, good to see you guys out there. Appreciate you waffling with us. Let me see. Where were we at time-wise? Oh, wow. Okay, well, time is flying. We have 5 minutes. 5.5 minutes. We haven't even really done too much, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. Waffle coming up in a couple of minutes. Get ready. Get ready. Love to give out some waffles on a Wednesday. Let's go. If you're hungry, like Crafty Gamma is, previous waffle winner, by the way, or let's say a lot of whatever, you know what I mean. You guys in there, get in on those last minute waffles. T Dunn's getting in on a last minute waffle. There we go. We got a couple minutes left. Ruru coming in with a waffle. Slow Smokes getting the waffle over on the tubes. Don't forget, guys, you can waffle on both Twitch and YouTube. So if you're watching us on Twitch or watching us on YouTube, if you have accounts for both, you can double down and get extra waffles there. So get in on that. You have a couple minutes left. I'll probably extend it a little bit because I literally do that every stream just to make sure everybody that's here gets in on their waffle. The waffle. All right, so case-wise, only real thing left to remove is the power supply bracket. Now, I like how we designed this and set this up. The bracket, of course, is on the inside right here, but then the screws or the mounting for it's right here on the front panel. So it is recommended to just pop that front panel off for your install, especially for the power supply bracket, where I would say some other cases you more or less don't need to, you know what I mean? But it'll make stuff a lot easier for you that way. And then, you know, you can just put like that kind of stuff aside. You know, you don't want that stuff getting damaged and everything. All right, let me make sure I'm taking out the actual bracket here. All right, let's see. There is 8 screws. 8 screws here for this power supply bracket. So I took those 4 out. Now let's take these 4 out. I was like, these ones are the ones that are actually mounted. I think because this, you have A and B mounting options. So with 2 mounting options, you more or less need 2 sets of screws for this. But I will tell you, this is the first time I've actually gotten to mount the power supply in here and see what this is all about. So we're going to be diving in together on the cool little power supply bracket. But dude, look at this. I mean, we just gutted the case, man, like a fish. We gutted the case like a fish, man. But I love that. I like having all the access that I would ever need to get into build, because I want to just get it done. I don't want stuff to be in my way. Like, especially I think the bracket on top is probably my biggest one, where like I love that I can just mount the AIO to that. Hey, shout outs to, like, did you notice that the AIO already had the fans pre-installed? This is using our 3-in-1 fan bracket, so or fan half frame. So these are basically, it's 1 frame, 3 fans, and then all the screws, you know, securing it to your radiator right here. Nice little pretty radiator, right? But pre-installed already out of the box. I mean, you just pull it out, you just take this, slap your little brackets on and stick it in, you're good to go. No more 12 screw screwing. You're welcome. But then again, you know, if you want to put your own fans on there, you can do your own fans, do whatever you want. I mean, one thing to think about too with this case is there's no windows, there's just walls, but you definitely don't necessarily need a lot of RGB. But I would still say that putting the fans here on the bottom and or on the top, I mean, with an AIO, the fans are going to more or less be here. They're not going to be on top because I wouldn't do it that way. You know what I mean? So I don't see you getting a lot of glow there, but you get a nice little underglow here on the bottom for sure. For sure. So think about that as far as what you want to do. If you want a little bit of lighter, you don't. Because, I mean, again, no glass window. There's no fish tank here on this one. You got a nice, clean, perforated panel. It blends in. We're looking for blending here. You know what I mean? All right, now I got to get the accessories out for this still. And then we can start slapping that in there. Did you get the senior, because I'm not going to say senior, the senior price on that blinker fluid mic? Yeah, I mobile ordered it. They came and delivered it to me. I couldn't drive my car without blinker fluid. You know what I mean? Who would drive dry? I mean, if you don't have blinker fluid, what are you doing to your poor car? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? All right. Make sure you guys get those last minute waffles in. We're about 30 seconds out. And then I'm going to more or less extend it out. I got to wait for it to close, and then I'll just reopen the kitchen. Don't worry. I'll give you guys a couple extra minutes. We're going to slap a couple of things in here. Right? You know, you got to be safe, man. You got to be safe. You don't want to run risks with blinker fluid. You know what I mean? It could really damage your car or your waffle. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's get our fun little bag of screws out of here and our cool little candy wrapper. Oh, I guess you can hear that. Little candy wrapperage. Candy wrapperage. All right, here. All right, kitchen's back open. We'll let the kitchen run open for a little bit. We're going to do a couple of things. Last minute wafflers, get your waffle in. The more the merrier. We got free syrup. We got free syrup and extra butter if you need it. ASMR fun, I know, right? Okay. Mission critical. Find the screws for the motherboard.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's hump day. It's hump day. All right, let's do a little test. I think it's this one. I think it's this one. Ooh, wait. Is it this one? Ooh, no, it's not. All right, it's not that one. It must be this one. Yes. Oh, yes, the classic. All right. Fair. All right, now we got to count. So we got micro ATX today. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not 9. You'll have 8 with micro. I don't know if they probably make, I've seen micro boards out there that have like 4 or 6 versus 8, I guess. I don't really think you need more than 4, to be fair. I think it's kind of funny that motherboards require so many screws to mount them in there. I mean, like, come on, man. But, you know, we don't make motherboards. We just make the cases. So motherboard companies change the holes, then they'll just give us an excuse to make a whole new case lineup. I mean, think about the backwards connectivity. I mean, you know, there's one thing the case doesn't have is a backwards connectivity support. So this only works for standard boards. Granted, I would say it's quite rare to find a micro ATX backwards, like BTF, Project Zero. I mean, I know they exist, but not necessarily for this case. So 2, 4, 6, 8. We got our, oh my God, that sucks. I just knocked half of the screws on the floor. You know, the good thing is with the gray carpet and the chrome screws, they're definitely a lot easier to find than black, right? So at least we're good there. Do you have the build list for this little puppy? Do I have the build list, like as far as like the parts and everything? No, I usually don't do that. I mean, a lot of stuff's repurposed. I use we used these fans in a previous case. We didn't use this card, but we used another card, but that card we used for like a bunch of stuff. And then I believe this was one of the motherboards that was in something, and I'm just using this. I just grab whatever. I think it's different when it's like stuff like it's like if we're doing like a giveaway build, or I'm doing a build and like we're gonna do like gaming and performance, performance actual stuff. We're more or less just doing fitment here with this one. But yeah, hey, we got our screws and we got everything set up. So let's get this bad boy slapped in here. Don't look at the Intel confidential CPU, okay? I don't want you guys stealing all my secrets, okay? Don't let them know that it's a confidential chip, okay? It'll be our little waffle secret, all right? Don't tell Intel, okay? Oh yeah. But yeah, it is pretty straightforward. I mean, standard micro ATX motherboard. I mean, I do like micros a good bit over like just ITX because especially for if you want that extra slot for either capture card or other stuff, it does give you a little bit of options with it too. And micros actually usually a little bit cheaper because they don't have to slam everything in such a smaller space with like mini ITX. But look at this, baby. Look at this. I can sit here. I got both sides open here on the case. What more could you ask for from a case manufacturer, right? We get this lined up. I have no idea where we're going with everything. Oh wait, there we go. It's fitting into its groove. I really like how we do the captive standoffs. If you guys don't know, like, so we offer captive standoffs. So once the motherboard sits down on its little bed of standoffs, there's the one standoff in the middle that's captive, meaning it has like a little extra ring around the top, and then that actually keeps the motherboard in place, even though I haven't put a single screw in. So stuff like that's kind of cool. You're not worried about this shifting around on you, maybe
Just
scratching
subbed for my 46th
resistor
month,
off
but
the
I'm
back.
guessing notices turned off. Didn't hear, see anything.
Just subbed for my 46th month, but I'm guessing no, because I mean, I've been seeing all the other stuff, Teffin. I don't know, man. Well, wait, no, I saw it up there that you resubbed. I don't know why it didn't pop up. It could be a thing. Hey, by the way, Teffin, thank you so much for the 30 stream streak. Sub for 46. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, dude. That's a long freaking time. I don't know. Maybe I missed it too. My bad. But I figured it would have popped up something. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll see what happens with the next one. Apologize though. Twitch could be twitching or something else is doing something else. You know what I mean? I guess at least it's good that my chat's working. All right. Now I don't know if I got this line back up here. There we go. Come on. Sometimes these AIO covers can be a little finicky trying to get the square in the right spot. Ah, there we go. It just had to get in its little spot. Oh. Whoa. Cover to screw up. Good luck on the waffles, you guys, though. Couple minutes left. We are in waffle overtime. We're going to be picking a couple winners here momentarily, so prepare to pull over. Refrain from washing your dog or car, or walking either. Don't walk your car right now. It's not safe. We don't want you to miss out on all of your waffles. Lizard. We don't want you to miss out on your lizards. Waffle. And I mean, I got to say too, the other thing I like about the bottom being removed is because you have all these connections here, like all the connections here on the bottom, and without that bottom kind of comes in and it's pretty close on the bottom, right? So having this little extra room for doing my cable management is going to be huge. You guys know you have to run the cable in through the bottom right here, and then you got to pop this thing out, but then you can't go here. You're going in like this. You know what I mean? You can't go in. And so this is see? Hey. Good. Good. Uno más. All right. Board is secured. Board is secured. Yeah, like think about like look, dude, look at I love this. I love how open this is. I mean, you can literally go all the way through. So a lot of room down, you know, throughout the case to be able to get in here. I think a big part of this is going to be stuff like where I got to connect my EPS right here, or just all the stuff here on the bottom. And, you know, you got a couple little grommet cutouts right here, as you can see. But it's just the fact that I can come in this way, route them, plug them in, tuck them in nicely. I can more or less bring that fan bracket in there, and it just all goes in at one piece. It kind of just goes together in chunks. You know what I mean? It's kind of a chunky case. It's kind of a chunky case. Where? Oh. I dropped my little stool, my tool. But I need to go wash my fish. Well, wash your fish already. Please hurry. Make sure you scrub behind the gills really good too, okay? It's really important. Mike was busy chatting about blinker fluid and probably missed it. No, did it not do the alert though? I'll have to look into it. I am waiting for the next one, but no rush. You know, we'll see what's going on. I still got to set up my Streamlabs and stuff to do my own streams. Yeah, dude, it's you know, and the funny part is like a lot of stuff has been the same for like a long time. And then all of a sudden something acts up and you're like, what happened? What happened? Well, you know, just bring me into the bathroom, Steve, is no problem, okay? You can celebrate your waffle anywhere. Never really thought about it like that we're live streaming. You can celebrate waffling just about anywhere. But, you know, safety is important. So make sure you don't waffle and drive, okay? Safety is important. Sizman, I saw your resub earlier. Did it not pop up for you? Because I thought I saw it. Because yep. Preach it. Okay, so motherboard's in. We got to play around with some power still. AIO and fans are going to go in so fast, you're going to blink and they're going to be in. So a lot of that stuff should be pretty quick and easy. And then we can talk more about optical drive stuff and other stuff. You know, at least get a decent chunk today. You know what I mean? We'll finish this up next week. I ain't in a rush. I ain't in a big rush. I like not being in a big rush, you know? We're chilling. It's hump day, man. Let me move some stuff over here. All right. Have we waffled? Is everybody waffling? Oh, do we have any more wafflers? Last call. Last call for waffles. Oh, it did the TTS part. Oh, okay. Yeah, because that's just... I don't know what that can be. That TTS can be a little weird. I'll have to pay attention to the next one. Because, I mean, I saw pigs earlier. I know I saw pigs. I heard pigs. You know, because he had to bring up Chippy's arm again, you know. Text to speech. Kitchen's closing, though. Are we good? Gopher? Edwin, one of the last wafflers. Everybody waffled. Hurry up. Hurry up. Lizard. I want you to get in. Get in on the waffle. Be the waffle. Last call. Last call for waffles. Having breakfast for dinner tonight is, oh yeah, dude, I love breakfast for dinner. We got some scrambled cheesy eggs. Ooh, bacon, waffles. Oh, Peg, you're making me hungry, dude. You know, I like to do the scrambled eggs and then I put a little bit of cheese in while it's cooking. You know, get the little cheese, you know, get that going on. I don't do it like it too much because I don't want it too cheesy, but I put a little cheese in there when the eggs are cooking. And then once the eggs are done, then I put a little more cheese on top. Mwah, so good. I love cheese. I love cheese. Living like a king. For reals. For reals. All right. All right, we in? We good? I don't want to hear anybody complaining. I gave extra time. Scrambled waffles. Dude, that sounds fantastic. I saw a video the other day where somebody took like, you know, a cheese stick. You know, you get the Kobe Jack or even like string cheese, like the cheese stick. They put a toothpick on it and then they dipped it in waffle batter and then slapped it in a waffle iron and closed it. And they made a cheesy waffle popsicle. And I was like, oh my God, I need to try that. Apple knees? No, get in. Are you in? Are you in? We're going to be closing. The doors are closing. Waffle. Come on. Profit. Profit. Gotta get in. Waffle up. You guys gotta waffle up. We gotta waffle up, dude. Are you guys waffled? Are we good? I'm gonna close. I think we're there. I think we're there. All right, we're there. We're there. Canceling. I mean closing. Could you imagine if I canceled the waffle right now and just deleted everything? Oh my God, that would be crazy. All right. Waffle Hopper. That's right, Cyber. That's right. Okay, closed. The kitchen is closed. Let's get to the fun part, shall we? Let's get to that fun part, shall we? All right. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Waffles, tasty waffles with lots of syrup.
Oh, baby, it's waffle time. Oh, baby, it's a waffle time. We're ready. Are you ready? Where is my wheel? What happened to the wheel? Uh-oh. Hold on. What happened to the wheel? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, the waffle's been canceled. Dude, it was there before stream. I swear to God it was there before the stream. What? Here. Refresh. 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 There. Yes. All right. All right. All right. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Nothing happened. You didn't see that. See, you got to be on your toes when you're streaming. You got to be on your toes when you're streaming. All right, everybody, it's waffle time. Let's go, baby. Give it away. Give it away. First winner up for the day. We have Teffin CA over on the YouTubes. See, he was talking about those TTSs and they heard him. Congratulations, Teffin. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, you got to jump on YouTube and say hi. That's all. I'll just say it once and then you can go back to Twitch. It's no problem. Teffin, let's go, baby. Congrats. GG's on the waffle, my friend. I know you're here. But just do me that solid. I just need the record. If you just get on that YouTubeage, say waffle. If you say pancakes, I'm going to disqualify you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, Teffin. Congrats over on YouTube. See? Get in on both, guys. Get in on both. No, he's there. I saw him on Twitch. There he is. There he is. Let's go. Oh. Hey! There he is. Congratulations, Thermaltake, on winning the waffle, my friend. All right, you say spin it. You're gonna win it, my friend. Good luck to you. Let's go. Let's get a big one for Teffin. The other TT. Let's go, buddy. Let's go, buddy. Fingers on the trigger. Ready to go. Ready to go. Here we go. Let's go. Come on, man. Let's go. Big one, big one, big one. Let's go, big buddy. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh! Oh! Big winner, AIO dinner. Congratulations, man, on winning an AIO from the Waffle Man. Congrats, dog. Let's go. Let's go. Big win, baby. Big win. All right. One more. We got one more. Can get a wood-enabled AIO. That's right. You can get wood on your AIO. We have that in stock. I might say you might want to take a look at some of the better ones, but yeah. Good luck. All right. One more. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? You smell those waffles? I do. One more. Ooh. Ooh. Who's it going to be? 3, 2, 1, go. JagR02. JagR02 over on Twitch. We got a nice mixed bag of both. Congratulations, JagR02 or R02. Jumma Jar Jar, let's go. Congratulations, JagR02. Let's go. He's here. Let's go, Waffle Man. Let's go. All right, my friend, you say spin it, you're going to win it. Congratulations on winning the waffle. Good luck to ya. Fingers on the trigger. Say win. Say win. Spin it, he's going to win it. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Big money. Big money. Nice, dude, scoring yourself a choice of fan packs. We got a lot of fans on our OnlyFans page. Feel free to check that out and get in on it, man. Let's go. Thank you guys all for waffling with us. Appreciate you. Make sure, my winners, you give me a quick little DM on Discord. Verify that you are a meat popsicle. And we'll get you going, all right? GG's, you guys. Congrats. Let's go. Next week could be you. Stay tuned for all the waffle news on the Waffle Time on the Waffle channel. If we could rename Twitch to Waffle, we would, but we can't. We can't do that. All right. Oh, man, nothing like a good waffle on a Wednesday. Am I right? Nothing like a good waffle on a Wednesday. Nice. I recommend anything in 200 mil. Oh my God. You know, if Good ever wins the waffle and he gets fans, he's only going to be allowed to pick 200 mil fans. He's going to be the only one. I love you guys. Thanks so much for waffling with us. We do appreciate it. We're not going anywhere. We still got a little bit to do. So we're just hanging out. Appreciate you guys want to hang out for a little bit. Again, thanks guys for getting in on the waffle and congrats to our wafflers. Let's go. Mike, what day is it, Mike? Oh, yeah. Still working on that Geico sponsorship. It'd be crazy if they ever came out with like a new commercial that was based on the same thing but different. It'd be crazy if Geico double dipped on that. I would probably be worried about legal coming after me. Oh, my God. Okay. So, I mean, easy stuff's easy. Mounting fans to brackets, AIO to brackets. I mean, a lot of that stuff's pretty straightforward. But I kind of really want to focus on a good bit of power and how stuff goes with like the optical drive. So I wanted to spend a little extra time on that before we just kind of slap everything in. Because, I mean, you know, we want to show you guys all the ins and outs of what you can do with everything. Because why not? Because we said so. Right? I'm the manufacturer. Ha ha ha. Gotta love, dude. This look how cool this is gonna be. Get a little optical drive. Look at that. A little optical drive. Blah blah. I can't wait. This does give me a good idea for like a media PC, like something just, you know, something I could put by the TV and then like literally play just about any game I'm more or less playing in my game room. I mean, I might not have, you know, all the DLSSs, you know what I mean? But I would have a pretty banging setup. I mean, I think about like, older parts, kind of whipping some together just to kind of, plug it into HDMI and just slap it on the TV, grab a controller if you want, or just a wireless mouse and keyboard. Like this thing right here. This thing was the GOAT for me at PAX because it gives me the little mouse, little touchpad thing right here. And then I got all the little keyboards because we needed this to, reset software or whatever throughout the weekend, for like all the racing sims. And I mean, oh my God, this thing was the GOAT. Just little USB key right here. Plug this bad boy into the PC. And then, dude, it's just the coolest little thing. We need to make one of these. And then we need to make like a little holder with our this is so convenient for racing sim stuff. But in a way, I've been kind of laughing, going, I should game on this and see how well I could game on this. It would, because like WASD is so freaking small, like an FPS shooter, like it'd be kind of interesting. It's like a little keyboard, big guy in a little coat. Oh yeah. Oh, that was a good waffle, guys. That was a good waffle. All right. So get the brackets out of the way. I mean, the nice thing about the AIO is it literally just goes on the bracket goes in, and then we just have to kind of more or less come around here and figure out how we're going to mount the pump housing and everything. But I do want to kind of square up how and where I'm going to put the power supply. So your power supply comes with, or I'm sorry, your case comes with a power supply bracket for your power supply. Make sure the logo's right side up. We gotta make sure that you have your PSU bracket nice and removable. The one thing to take note too is that you see there's a bunch of extra holes. So there's different mounting points to do different things here with this bracket. So it's really interesting how a lot of this stuff was set up. So now, ideally with this, the way the bracket, because the bracket goes in to the case just like this, it's got the little parts right here so you can screw it in, so it's not like a clip in or anything. So you have all the connectivity that you would think as far as mounting a power supply to a bracket, right? But then of course, I mean, we were like, well, hey, ThermalMike, which way should I go? I mean, ideally something like this where you have the power supply with the fan right here. This would be ideally going like this. So it would then there be on the inside like so, and then the fan of course would be on the front, and then you would have the venting going out through the top, because you have to have it more or less like this. Because I think I was playing around with this, like looking at this bracket, like if I took the bracket and I tried to put it upside down, I mean, it might be something that it would work, but I don't know why I would want it this way with the power connection on the bottom, because then all your cables are going to come out through the top. So it does make a lot more sense to have it facing this way. Would be ideally the way what I would recommend, as far as like size wise and stuff. But the other thing too is that, I mean, you can literally put it on the other way, meaning that this would be facing the front, and then you would have the fan here on the inside, more or less sucking in all the heat, more or less, from this thing, because it's going to be right in front of it. So ideally for me, with the configuration, even though you have a variety of options, because I mean, yeah, you can adjust it up or down. There's two different mounting points there on the case. A lot of it's just to kind of give you a little extra wiggle room on the bottom for, if you got a larger graphics card or just other things that you would want to put in there. Even say a little extra room for your cables to kind of come down, bend around, and go into their dedicated locations, right? So, yeah, you can put it like this, but I would not recommend that, because then your fan is just going to be sucking the heat off of your graphics and then going out the top up through your AIO. It's a catastrophe. Just heat everywhere. You know what I mean? So, and the good thing too is power supplies don't really get all that hot from, especially like back in the day, from a lot of what I've seen too. When you French fry when you're supposed to pizza, you're gonna have a bad time, question mark? Can I do the wrong burgundy and go, have a bad time? Dude, the CTE 750 is a beast of a case. It is a huge beast of a case. But yeah, dude, I saw that 3D printed joystick for WASD. I thought that was the coolest crap. That was so neat. It was like just like a little, and like he just 3D printed it. That was the neatest thing to see. I was like, those are some really cool ideas as far as giving you like a controller idea on a keyboard for something like that. I could see a lot of people doing that, and somebody's probably out there trying to buy that guy's design so that they can sell a crap load of them for $20. You know what I mean? Never mind, I don't have vertical GPU mount. Yeah, no, yeah, the vertical GPU mount doesn't go like work with this particular case. I mean, space is a thing, you know what I mean? Or the thing's just gonna get too big, right? I guess I'll keep my old level 20 GT for a few more years. It hasn't collapsed yet. Like, to think that your PC case sitting there 10 plus years old, and then just all of a sudden it just folds in on itself, just disintegrates. You're like, oh, well, time to go to Best Buy and buy a new one. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't. Luckily, I have not seen that happen here at Thermaltake. Can't speak for everyone. Laugh out loud like demolishing a building, right? Just boom, 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 and the whole thing just goes. little Swiss cheese of a case. I mean, you know, it's fine. It's fine. You know what I mean? It may void your case warranty, though. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think two people worry about case warranties most of the time. You know what I mean? You're freezing. It's true. It's true. But yeah, so you have the basically two options, either fan front or fan back. I mean, come on, guys. Putting the fan in the front makes the most sense. Your logo is going to be sideways on here. I mean, it is what it is, but that's just because the connection's got to be here on the top. If I wanted to try to make the logo the right way up, I mean, this is more or less designed for sideways applications, I guess, you know, when you're looking at it like, wait, this way. That's what we've had for 30 years, right? So it is going to be like that, but I don't think you guys are going to worry too much. The good thing, you won't see it. Now, there is a fun little caveat to this too, is that if you do want like the front panel to give you like a little bit of RGB stuff right there, I mean, you could get a power supply with an RGB lit fan. I mean, hey, we've done it. I mean, I wouldn't say it's as popular as it used to be, but they do exist out there. But other than that, I don't think something like this would be something too hardcore in the RGB. I think RGB's calmed down a good little bit, right? I think it's calmed down, mellowed out a little bit. Screens definitely took a good chunk of it. But then, you know, just as much as everybody's like, oh, well, RGB software is terrible, screen software is not any easier. It's definitely more difficult than just trying to get your lights to flash correctly. I mean, let's be honest, right? Well, let's go ahead and slap the screws in here. All right, so yeah, because I have 4 different mounting holes here on this. Oh, and then like sometimes if the bracket got a little extra squished, you got to kind of just give it a little stretchy poo. Let's see, where are we going? We're going right here. Get this bad boy in. But yeah, I think it's kind of cool that, you know, it's got, well, oh wow, is this like actually the clean version? No, Hootie and the Blowfish. Oh, okay. Here's my wife's ringtone. Honey, is that you? Oh my God, I'll have to show that to her later. She'll appreciate that. She'll be like, damn right it is. Boom. Oh man, I miss having bass in my car. To be young again. Back when big subs were a thing. Dude, I swear I do not hear anybody bumping anymore. It's kind of sad. I used to have the frickin' ground shaking at a stoplight when I would pull up next to somebody that had just a crazy sound system, and I just don't hear that anymore. It's like everybody's windows up and everything's quiet. It's like I don't know. I guess it's the new thing. I guess everybody just wants silence. Windows up, can't hear you, can't smell you. Ew. I'm gonna drive an electric car that's even quieter. Ew. You know what I mean? Need horsepower. Where? Oh yeah, because I dropped it. That's right. I forgot. I was like, where's the screw? Wait, that's not it. I dropped that one. Oh wait, that's not it. I dropped that one too. Is this? Oh no, it's not that one either. Uh-oh. Wait. Oh no, that's not that one either. All right. Where'd you go? Do I have to get the GoPro out so you guys can help me find it? You know what? I got a backup plan. You know what, Screw you. We don't need to find you right now. We're just going to use somebody else. Now you're no longer included. How about them apples? Okay, so this bracket looked like it pinched a little bit. Maybe is it because I tightened that one down too much? I mean, it's just, well, I had to really screw it down. I mean, it's just, I think it's just because you know how it's just basically a U-shaped bracket and there's really not like support around it. You just got to get it lined up. I was just trying to line it up really good. What's interesting too is like a little gap here for the fan, but like, other than that, I don't see too much of an issue with it. All right, so then now we got different ideas as far as mounting this. Let me get my because the super tiny screws were for the AIO thing. And then this little pile of awesomeness is for the power supply. I was gonna say, I don't know if I have to put all, because it's crazy too, because there was two different styles of screws. Let me show you. Let me show you. Like, wait, is this thing like, oh. Okay. Like, look, so one set of the screws in there, pretty standard, right? Rounded head on it, your standard little screw, and then you have these guys, which have the little sleeve on the side. So when you look at that, there's a little sleeve indent for that. And of course, I did not pay attention to what went where. Of course, I didn't pay any attention. No LTT screw. No, you know, I've been trying to get those guys to send me one, but they keep selling out. I have an Intel screwdriver. I should be using that, but I mean, I've used it a lot. I think Linus wants a little too much for that screwdriver, but you didn't hear that from me. Get some epoxy and you don't have to put any. You know. Is it funny how, like, dude, like epoxy, the smell of epoxy is so obvious. It's so obvious. And for whatever reason, when I use epoxy, like in the garage, even after like a day or two, it still smells like epoxy in there. And I mean, I'm not saying I not ventilated. Like, I'm just like, dude, it's just the smell lingers. It's a little bit of a lingering. Now, very difficult to mount the power supply to said bracket while bracket is in case you didn't know. But at the same time, you kind of got like, you can't do this and then do this, because then you can't get the screws and then screw it. You know what I mean? So then you more or less have, this is the front, and you got to kind of hold this guy up. And then, let's see, because there is going to be, you just kind of like line it up. Like, here, let me put it in position A, and then we'll take a look. I'll just put the top screws in. You don't need all of them, guys. Come on. Wait. The turntable here is actually frustrating. Come on, table. The table keeps wanting to turn when I'm trying to do something. All right, so 2 screws in, just to kind of show. So standard mounting of the power supply. That, I mean, still a good amount of room on the bottom. I mean, if I had the bottom in with the fans and everything, I wouldn't say that really is more or less much of a concern. This is going to be the tallest you're going to get it to as far as where it mounts on the front of the case. And you might want to go that position regardless, more or less, because you're concerned about the cables, because the cables got to come down and then they got to wrap around. So a lot of this stuff you got to wrap around. You got to give it a good old wrap around for the cables to come in through here, and then everything can more or less plumb through the back, you know, and you have all the rest of your other stuff here for like your front panels and everything. But nice little access points throughout the bottom. And I mean, even here through the top, the motherboard's kind of recessed back. So the motherboard's a little bit closer to, you know, the back panel itself. So you're not going to see options for like hard drive mounting and stuff like that right there. Wait, the PSU goes on the front of the case? Yeah, so that's one of the unique things, because if the PSU didn't go on the front, then the thing would be this much wider, and it would be like a dual chamber style, like a lot of other cases, where it's probably more or less hanging off width-wise about an extra power supply thickness extra, you know, for stuff like that. So to keep it compact enough, but then supporting micro ATX, we opted to put the power supply in the front. And, you know, I mean, when you look at like the TR100, because it being smaller and being SFX power, that bad boy fit here on the side in the back. So it was kind of in the front, but it wasn't really like in the front like this one. So the TR200 as well as the TR300 has the power supply mounting on the front. And then for what we did to accommodate the cooling for that is we just did a bottom top configuration. So you got 3 fans on the top, 3 fans on the bottom, and then 1 in the back. So everything's just kind of going up and out, not in and up and out, if that makes sense. Something like that. Case being a short king, it's given it's got those vibes. It's not tall. It's long. It's more rectangle than square. But then at the same time, I mean, you think, I think about these things and do like, you know, there's different stuff. Kind of like, you know, you look at a case and you go, well, I could do like something really, this could be interesting. You know what I mean? Like as far as how I do it, or even furthermore, I could go something like this. I mean, the AIO panel literally unscrews. I could relocate that anywhere. You know what I mean? And it would give me something like this. I don't know. I mean, like, there's so many cool little ideas, but then, you know, the cables and everything come out to the top. So it's just like, whatever. But sometimes it's fun to look at a case, especially as the case manufacturer, and be like, hey, that'd be kind of cool. And I'm like, dude, which way's up? There we go. You know what I mean? So power supply, you can definitely mount it up a little bit higher this way. And this doesn't interfere at all with your clearance for the optical drive. So let me get those. Where are those little screws for this dude? 1 second. In my head. Yep. So is these guys. So this little bracket, the little bracket for the optical, and this is why I wanted to spend time on this. So, all right, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, it's so small. So let's dive in. That's why you're here, right? That's why you're still hanging out, right? You want to see the things. You want to see the things. So, dude, look at this. Your classic right there. Little AIO bracket right here. So you see how it's got like a little tab, and then there's 2 threaded screw holes. So the little tab's like your guide. If you look right here on the front of the case, you got like a weird kind of troubled smiley face. If you kind of, it's a little troubled smiley face, but if you see it, you'll never unsee it like I did. And I don't know, he's either missing a tooth or just has a weird smile to him, but either way it works.
Who is the most accomplished camel-like composer? Amadeus Mozart.
Amadeus Mozart? Llama. Now, the bracket, dude, that was such a distraction. I love it, C-Play. Thank you. So then with the bracket, I think it makes a lot of sense because you got your little lip here, so that way your optical drive will rest on that. And then this little tab should make a lot of sense. You just get this bad boy right in here like that, right? And you see how it creates a tongue? And then we'll come in here and we'll get it screwed down. Full torque. Oh God, nervous. Okay, let me grab another one. So then, just so you can kind of see how this goes. So 2 screws right here. You got your little tongue guy hanging out like that. All this does is just put the tab here on the inside for your optical drive. You'll see that you have the other mountings over here too. So the nice thing about this is it's got basically 3 points. So you have the full side as far as, because you know how it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we're kind of cutting it short. You don't get the 4th one that would ideally go here, but you don't need it. You have a little edge or a lip right here on this side. See if I kind of crank it this way. So you got a nice little lip here on this side for that. And then you have nice little slotted holes there for your optical, kind of little tie clips right here for your cable management as well. And then, yeah, looking at the power supply, looking at this, I mean, I would guess that the only thing that I would suggest, let's see, I was wondering about this, which way this goes. So then this would go in like that. And I don't know how necessarily I'd want to go about it. Maybe like something like this or something. But either way, I would have that there. And then as you can see, this isn't going to necessarily interfere with the height of the optical. You're like, dude, well, I got to put the power supply lower. But then if I put the power supply lower, I'm worried about my graphics card, coming in and hitting it like this. So we'll talk about that just a little bit, because that way I kind of cover the clearance and then we can talk about the rest and finish the build next week, right? So now that I have that in there, cool little test fit. I've been dying to do this. Look at that, baby. Just optical drive. Optical drive. Come on. Wait. Is it hitting on the freaking... There we go. Is it like... Oh, it's got to go over it. Well, wait a second. Is that really a tight fit there on that side? Oh, that's interesting. So, looking at it from this perspective, see, it looks like it's going to hit the cable a little bit. So, I was thinking, ideally, I would run it on the bottom and then bring it up over on the side. But it looks like, instead, what I'd want to do is plug it in here. And then this is going to kind of come up over the bracket like that to go over the optical drive. So let's try. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So then, I mean, yeah, we don't have the front panel on, so that's going to usually stick out a little bit. You guys remember like how it's not supposed to be like here? It's supposed to be here. How many of us back in the day mounted it here and then went to go put the cover on and go, why is it so far back? You know what I mean? So then, I mean, you can always do this too. Take this guy like so. And then, I like this because this just kind of locks in like that. Then, oh, wait a second. Was there like a little tab? No, that's not going to be in the way, is it? Hold on. I haven't done this in years. Let's see. Is it like, okay, no, that's not an issue. Maybe it's just me. It's probably just stupid me. Okay, let's get this in. Oh, see, I can't. Oh, because this has got to slide over. Well, this thing goes in, to get that nice little, you got to get that flush look, right? It almost kind of looks like it's a screen. This gives me a neat little idea that the screen should look like an optical drive. Like if we had a picture of an optical drive, for the screen. Like I'm thinking like TR100s and all that, like just old school Sony, Panasonic, whatever, you know, and just have the little DVD logo right here and just make that the screen to make it look like a virtual optical drive. That literally just gave me that idea, like literally right now. So, you know, getting that all set up so that way you know where, you know, your distance is going to be. Let me see. I think I could still take that off, so I could still be able to adjust, secure down the screws on this side as well as over here on this side. I mean, I guess you can kind of see it a little bit, you know, it's like right there, you know, but you got your two sets. And I mean, yeah, that lines up. I got my little holes right there. I can line those guys up and then lock it into place. But just remember, it's got to stick out a little bit so that way it's flush there with the cover. And I mean, it looks like you can just do a nice little, you know, preset with that and get that all situated, right? And you know, I think the important part here is that there's still enough clearance for the power supply. This definitely will be the heat exchange coming off. That is going to more or less shoot up in a way to the optical drive. But remember, it's not pulling all the heat off of the system because the fan's not on this side. Fan is on this side. So a lot of this is isolating cool air coming in. And I would say more or less a little bit of warm air going out, but definitely nothing hot. Not like a heat exchange from an AIO or let alone a graphics card, especially with the power supply sucking the air in because you decided to put the fan on this side. So I try to give you guys good ideas on this, so I'd recommend that. And then also makes it nice convenient. Look, oh yeah, there's my power supply. Here's all my cool specs that you can see. How popular. Like you like my leftovers from PAX. Yeah, that pallet got me good right there, man. It's like 2 weeks old, bro. Oh man, that one hurt. But yeah, I mean, you have the options for that. And then the only other thing with the power supply then is that you could go lower with the power supply and mount it down. I mean, your distance is a pretty good little chunk. This is about 1.5 inches, 2 inches as far as the space from here to here to drop this overall down lower, because you're looking at the mounts being there for the bottom, and then they could go all the way down to this hole. So there's a couple of different holes to look at for this, but ideally you have the inner holes that are going to be there on the top. You also have these ones here on the side, depending on, you know, like I said, where your power supply is going to go with that distance or that gap that you see here for the distance with that. I think next week I'll do a little bit of adjustment because I want to get the cables in and show you this with the cables, and then we can kind of play around like, all right, let's see what happens if we lower it down to see if that causes any problems, you know, for the cable spacing, or like, you know, just your gap down here, especially if you want to run, you know, like three friends along the bottom like this, right? So like if I have my 3 fans along the bottom like that, you know, I don't have any issues here with the optical drive, right? As far as that going in there. I mean, AIO wise, you still got a good amount of room. The motherboard itself is definitely recessed lower to accommodate for the fan and rad thickness on the top. You got a lot of cable tie points all around with the case. And then, I mean, last but not least, you have a cool little diving board here for your graphics card. So your graphics card doesn't go diving out of the PCI Express slot. But for even a chonker of a card like this Zotac gaming card right here, I think what this is 40, 50 something. Oh, it's a 6090. Okay, so the 6090 right here, you know, this bad boy, if, you know, even as big of a card as this is, you know what I mean? Like looking at this, and I'm not even in, like I can still go, I'm going to be going this way with the bracket as far as just kind of eyeballing or getting an idea, you know, getting an idea that, of course, this thing is actually in my way because I got to adjust the height of that. But like, look, there's still a decent amount of wiggle room here, even with a card this big, 6090, right? But like, you still have a good amount of space here with this, where I'm not going to say you have to have it on the top, because it's not like the card is down here. You know what I mean? And it's definitely not lengthwise where this is going to be a problem, because even this is at the highest position it would be. So regardless if it's upper or lower, I'm like just looking at this now and where we are right now at the moment, it just seems the upper choice is more obvious. Just I have the little bit of extra room to bend my cable, so I'm not doing such a sharp turn on some of my cables that are going to be plugging in for my power, and it just gives me a little bit of extra breathing room, right? A little bit more of a gap, but I like the gap between this and that right here. It's not like it's rubbing. It's not like this, right? You guys would probably be like, dude, that's really close, or like I'd be worried about this getting too close, or even the fact of how do you get it in there just to get it in there, right? And then same thing with like the AIO, or even with the fans down here on the bottom. So we got to get it connected. There we go. Yeah, and then you got a little GPU guy right here, and then this is of course adjustable for the height, or I guess you would say the thickness of what your graphics card could potentially have. Could potentially have. Well, you know, the funny part, excuse me. And I would say, yeah, you don't really necessarily want your PSU fan as far as how it's meant. You want this right here, just at least pulling the air in. It's kind of isolating it a little bit. I mean, it's not as bad if you don't have the optical drive, of course, in there. But if you do, I don't really see it being too big of an issue. It's not necessarily sitting on it.
I saw a plant cut into the shape of a skeleton today. It was a bonsai tree.
Ah, the good old bonsai. Ah, I like it. I like it. Surely you guys include a blank space holder instead of a must-have optical drive, right? Well, of course. So the case, where'd it go? So we tried to do you a solid with this one, and it's a great question. I mean, ideally out of the box, this is what you get. You basically get a nice solid cover plate. Well, I guess it's solid as far as plastic goes, but then it has a cutout right here if you want to. Has a cutout right here if you want to put in like the 6-inch screen. Other than that, this is what you're going to see out of the box. And then included with the accessories, if you do want to go optical, we're going to throw in a completely different cover plate for you that will then switch over, and then this would be then for the optical drive. So you have a nice clean front with that. It's not like, I mean, and you guys remember too back in the day when like you had these and they were like, you know, the little push outs and they'd pop out and everything. I mean, this thing pops out. It's really kind of tough, but I don't know. I mean, like, I guess it's not too bad, but you know, you have this that would pop out. The screen basically fits right in there, nice and clean as far as if you wanted to go with that. But it's nice that you have that little insert of the blank as far as what you want to do, you know, going forward as far as with this or with that. So we do include this because of that. And it was funny because when we first opened this up and I looked at it, I almost thought this was the 3.9 little screen that we do versus like the 6-inch screen, and totally just blooped the fact that, oh my God, I can put an optical drive in this case because it's just been that long. And it's funny, it's not like I didn't know, I knew, but I just forgot. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's one of those rarities. So many things come across, we talk about so many things, but optical drives is usually not one of them. But I'm curious to know what you guys think as far as optical drives go. Is it something that's important? Did you guys feel like you need it? Is it something you want to have? I mean, the case itself is going to give you a variety of options. It's just going to have that as an extra little caveat that you're like, oh, that's a little different. I don't see that all the time. But then you can still just go standard or straightforward stuff like that. And I could see a good amount of people being like, oh, cool, something new that's got new mounting and new stuff, like being able to take all the brackets out. Because I'm pretty sure the optical drive case that you have, if you have it today and you're still using it, doesn't have a lot of the updated or newer mounting, better options for clearance, more cooling options. God, cooling was so cut short on a lot of old standard case designs. It really wasn't a big, I think people didn't stress about that stuff. You know what I mean? It was air cooler, a couple fans, it's fine, you know? We were dealing with a lot less wattage than back then, right? So stuff like that could, you know, be an option to kind of look into, like a little refresh for that. You know what I mean? It's kind of giving you the different options, different doors to pick as far as where you'd want to go with that. And I think when you want to give an option like a screen, or you want to give an option like old school optical drive, for whatever reason, you got to be able to support both of those at the same time. And I think, you know, the fact that this just the fact that this pops back into place, where we're all used to like those older cases where once you pop this out, it's out forever because you had to twist the metal to take it out of there. So I mean, I think it's cool that it gives you options. You have expandability too. Like you always add it later, right? It's not like something you have to have in order for the build to work, but you'll have that option for later on. And it's kind of why, like, I would recommend when you're doing your build, throw in the little optical guy just anyways, because it's not going to be in your way for anything else. And if you do want to add that optical drive in later after the fact, or just because maybe you this PC is for one thing and then later on you change it. Think about a cool little garage PC where you could slap in some of the old movies and just, it's whatever, right? You know, a lot of cool little options with the case. And we're definitely hoping that's going to support some fun ideas for a lot of people for different things, right? Different options, different things. I mean, there's so many things so many people do with a lot of different cases, and you just got to try to think outside the box sometimes as far as where the box is going to go, and then be able to accommodate for it for what it's going to be, right? So I think a lot of this stuff's pretty straightforward, except for the power supply, because that's definitely throwing you a curveball by having the power supply up in the front, and then the optical drive is just kind of like a little cherry on top, giving you something extra, giving you a little taste of vintageness, you know what I mean, a little old schoolness there, if you want to. And I think that's what it's all about. Well, as far as optical drives go, no, they're not important at all, LOL. Fair? And I get that. To be honest, in 2026, we don't need the optical drive, especially if it adds cost to the case. And see, I think for the way we do like a little simple bracket and just like extruded plastic, I mean, this is as cheap as it's more or less going to get. You know what I'm saying? With that. So I don't think we're breaking the bank too much there on with the case, but I definitely agree with you on that point. You know what I mean? Heck, you guys could probably charge the same and not even include the optical drive cover, and people wouldn't know the difference. You're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. And I think that's the funny thing too, when you think about these kind of things, because sometimes people don't even read like the full details on stuff, and they're like, oh, it has one of those. I mean, I've been there with that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's funny too. I think you guys should have the optical drive covers on hand, maybe. But wait, what did it say? But only give with knobs that fit in the optical drive slot. Okay, no, I could understand that. I could understand that. The fan I sent Mike was connected to the TT fan controller that fit into the drive bay. Nice, Em. Nice, dude. I remember. There are programs to make a virtual optical drive. No, I get it. Like just like an old picture, right? Just like it makes it look like a vintage optical drive. You could maybe find one that's like a brownish gray, you know, that beige color, a black one. It just makes me think that 3.9, we should totally throw an optical drive, make it looks like an optical drive is in there, right? It'd be kind of funny. It just literally just came into my head right now. I don't know. I have to see if I can crop one good enough to fit it in there. You know what I'm saying? Same kind of thing I was thinking about with like the Mind Cube and everything, is just making a bunch of plugs. So it makes it look like it's like one of those 4 plug outlets. Because that came up thinking about cubes and different things. I was like, what's like that? And it was like, oh yeah, 4 plug out, like those, you know, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. He's got all the Christmas lights plugged into the. Don't do that, guys. Don't do that, okay? I still have the drive bay controller. Nice. Hang on to that for sure. Aren't there HDDs that fit in those giant drive bays? I mean, for HDDs, it's pretty straightforward. It's just, there's a separate bracket. It's got a single screw right there. You can do 2 SSDs or 1 HDD here. Now, with the bottom, because I literally have taken the bottom off of this case, but you can see there is an HDD bracket here as well on the bottom. But with that going in, as you can kind of see, it's going to more or less eliminate that front fan, or giving you the 3 fans on the bottom. So depending on what you want to do storage wise and everything, if you need more than one HDD, because I'm going to be honest with you, I'd keep the third fan and I just sneak in my SSD right here because there's an SSD gap to just basically kind of slap something right there. And you know, I think that would be fine. And then even on top of that, I mean, if you're concerned about airflow for your hard drive, it's fully perforated right there. You know what I mean? So airflow gets a little interesting with a case like this as far as how it's set up. You know what I mean? Nice little notch right here in the back, just a little call out right there. So like I've always kind of just grabbed from like right here and just popped it off like that. But there is a little nuche right here to be able to grab it off that way too, I guess. I love the feedback though, you guys. I really do. I appreciate you guys typing in chat. I really, really do. What you need is those stickers that look like wall plugs. Dude, I've seen people do this at the airport, and I've seen those like stick-on plugs, and they put them on the airport, like right there. Somebody sits down and they get all their stuff all comfy because they're waiting for their flight. And then the next thing you know, they pull out their plug and they're sitting there trying to plug it in, and somebody's there with their camera, you know, hiding in the corner trying to capture, going, look at them, they're trying to plug it into a sticker. I've seen those guys. Sit back and watch the fun. Exactly. Mike, I think you need to do a custom loop in this. Dude. It would be so, like, I guess, you know, in the days of distros, right? Like distro wise and everything, you think about this as far as how the case is set up, right? I mean, ideally, if I wanted to go custom cooling, let me get this stupid, like, I do it like, I guess, like, just, yeah. All right, so there's the floor. So, you know, you put the floor in right here. I mean, think about the options that you would have with custom cooling, both here and here. I could fit a full 360 radiator on the top. And I'm good with that. I'm good for a small build like this. And we're talking CPU and GPU cooling, right? I could throw a 360 here on the top. Look at this little bit of room. Look at this room underneath the power. Now cables aside, you could figure out some fun stuff. I know I could get this power supply to mount up higher, and I could lift that power supply up a lot, or I can lower the power supply down and I could put like a bay reservoir here. So there's a couple of different ideas. I mean, streamline stuff and everything, DIY, it'd be a lot of fun. I really do like doing some like real tight turns with some big tubes. It's very technical, very detailed. And yeah, I do have a good amount of mistakes, but if you get it just right and understand how much it takes for the bend to get that bend just right, dude, it would look sick. You know, to have a water block here, you water block the graphics card, you don't have to worry about a lot of space. I could see somebody wanting to put a distro on the bottom. That might be an option because, again, you're not really stressed about too much airflow with that, but then I'd maybe make this back fan intake. So I always like thinking of those kind of things. I do like to think outside the box with it. I just can't justify to go down that road. We don't make distros or, you know, pump reservoirs that would necessarily fit, you know, out of box. It would have to be some modded stuff. I love that there's a lot of DIY still going on in the market. I would say it's rough to see that it's on the roller coaster. DIY is definitely going down, where years ago it was definitely going up. So I could definitely say that I've seen DIY custom cooling up and then down and then up and then down. I feel like DIY custom cooling will definitely make a comeback eventually. Whatever's going to change as far as heat exchange or die size, I mean, a lot of that's going to vary. Because the one thing that I see interesting, and well, here, let me switch back over here because we're running out of time. But like, and I'm rambling about custom cooling, so there's that, right? But like, when you think about how small CPUs have gotten, that space is so small now, you can't get as much of the concentrated cold plate efficiency because of how much that die is shrunk down. Now, think about what if these companies went the other way around? What if CPUs started getting larger? Because, I mean, think about it. More cores, right? We had less cores, bigger CPUs. Now we have smaller CPUs with like 4 times, 6 times the amount of cores. So as a cooling manufacturer, I kind of want my CPU to be bigger. Give me more in there. Don't care how big it is or small it is. To be fair, I've gotten to the point where it's so small, I can't get proper cooling efficiency. And I think that's why everybody's playing the AIO game. I mean, straight up. I think that if CPUs got larger and they spread stuff out, you know what I mean? You could get a nice big water block on there and get way more efficiency on your cooling. We'll see. Who knows what could happen? But that's literally where I'm at with stuff like that. I mean, it's just, they got so small, your heat doesn't do anything. I think your radiator should be thicker, maybe. Yeah, no, and that's another thing. So like on AIOs, right? Our AIO rads are like 27, 28. You know, as far as like thickness wise goes, we've been trying to like, hey, go 30. Why not? Go 30. Well, a lot of that too, they have to calculate what causes clearance compatibility issues with current market products that have been around for a couple years if we make our rad that much thicker. Because, yeah, there's other companies that make thicker rads, but if it doesn't fit in our case, that ain't our problem. You know what I mean? Do your research. But thinking about, like, if we're going to go bigger with that, I mean, some cases, look at, like, Tower 300, for example. You know what I mean? Fitting that 28 mil fan with a 25 mil, or 25 mil fan with a 28 mil rad, you know, you literally get 50 something mil space. You're literally right there. It's slamming it in right up against the bracket, right? So a lot of different things that have to be thought about business-wise on stuff like that versus just wants, right? Like if you want it, that's cool, but it's got to make sense to support everything else, or you're shooting yourself in the foot, right? But I definitely agree they should be bigger. I think AIO should be thicker. I mean, on the DIY side of things, when I'm saying 360, I'm usually talking about like a 40, 45 mil thick rad, because that's usually what I would run. I don't feel I need a 64. I don't think that crap makes any difference for me. But definitely a thin like 27, under 30 mil rad for DIY is pointless. Don't waste your time. You know what I mean? But like 45 seems to be like the sweet spot. I've seen it. I've tested it. We've done a lot of rad testing of different stuff. You know what I mean? Sometimes people just want to throw that secondary rad in just for looks. It's kind of like talking like how push-pull doesn't make any sense. God, it's only Wednesday. Chew on that for your week. But yeah, dude, I really think if CPUs got larger, DIY would come back. Big time. Big time. And then graphic card wise, they need better separation on the memory module so you can do cooling on both sides, but not make it $1,000 water block. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? 32 mil copper AIO with Don. Well, I mean, 32 is pretty, I mean, 30, 32, I mean, either way, when you think about it, like you might want to save the 2 with the 30, because you got to add the fan. You got to think about the fan too, right? Like what the thickness is of the fan. Do you want a 30 mil fan with a 30 mil rad, or do you want a 32 mil rad with a 28 mil fan? So you got differences there. Affects CFM, affects your pressure, static pressure. So a lot of fun stuff like that as far as, you know, being picky and choosy. You see a lot of good, they have everything. They have 30, 32, 35, 40, 45 for rads. Fans come in different thicknesses too. You know what I mean? We've done a couple, but most of our stuff keeps the standard about 25 mil, right? But like, think about the difference of like a 30 mil fan. It's just that thing's going to be packing a lot more pressure with it because of the depth of the fan. So stuff like that, designs, all that stuff changes, but we'll have to see. I'm really curious to see what CPUs do, where they go. I mean, I'm not saying we need Threadripper chips where the freaking thing's the size of like a deck of cards. You know what I mean? Not saying going that crazy, but pack more in, spread it out a little bit so we can get a little bit more cooling area spacage. Please. You know what I mean? Let custom cooling make a comeback, baby. Let's go. I am going to be there that day, and I can't wait for it because I know it's going to happen. It's about when. It's not if. Just like earthquakes here in California, baby. All right? And I've been around with a bunch of them, and they come and go. You know what I mean? And yeah, there's definitely some companies out there have done some thick rads too for AIOs. It's made us look at it, go like, hey, that doesn't fit. And we're like, well, we gave you the spacing, right? But still, like, you know, we should accommodate for that and see that. Now, is everybody doing it? Not necessarily. But is it something everybody's going to more or less be moving to? Definitely a possibility, right? So we'll wait and see. Computex is right around the corner. We'll see how everything goes, see what everything comes up with, you know what I mean? But man, I miss it. I miss it so much, guys. We'll be bending the tube soon. I just don't know when. You know what I mean? Standard fans, well, yeah, standard fans, but for real, we just got to link these two cases together. I think it'd work. You know, that'd be another thing too, is like, just doing a bunch of different things. You know, I just like to mod the case and just start cutting stuff off, do my own thing with it. You know what I mean? Like having a rad mount on the backside that's almost external would be kind of interesting. So that frees up the top for other stuff. I mean, just a lot of things you could do, right? But a boy can dream, right? A boy can dream. We appreciate you guys being here for another fantastic Waffle Wednesday. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Boy, it was a good waffle today. It was a good waffle today. We got some progress on this. I definitely wanted to spend a good amount of time talking about some things so we could kind of cover some of the really nitty-gritty details, right? And then we'll slap it all together next week for our next live stream on Wednesday, all right? Okay. All right, you guys. Have a fantastic rest of your week. Love seeing you guys here. Happy hump day. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Have a great rest of your week and even a better weekend, okay, you guys? We'll see you next time. TR2 squared. Let's go. Later.